say kwa Easter no one me kura box ni ade no otimi ko duru nkoko anu we hwe o magu no asan dan ne ho ba asan load because nipa ne taa ho ba say ye private a obi no kwa ne kwa Easter oduru ba bia no apake na ka na je na home etie bia no sa na ye beka na ye kasa akwanhia sa Voxy vehicles no ede ba no enunti ye be ba ne a then we are not tackling the issue because driver for na driver no woman na say ye ba ne kura no kwa kofa car foforo atwi se wo che video ya eda hoi na wo che se eye do o chi Voxy or kono opposite direction e che se articulated tracks o eba na o hia wadwen wo a wetumi aba behwe ana wo a wehu dia meka ye etugbe yenye ne de ne registration number nyina ye de atudwa eti ebisa se yenye ne de pa 03022579002 03022579002 ana 03022435540 eti de oye na akwanhia si ya eye car ne na enye ana se ye driver na dwunyegu driver adwen no eda ne tirim egu na all drivers such a reckless driving na wo ya kwan so kwan are you too busy very busy road very busy na driver dey wutumi ye ho sa very busy articulated tracks enam so na wutumi ye ho sa okoku nipa ono akoku ne ho akoku nipa okoku no ma na busuafo abre eti wusa driving bi say ni ye ben de den wo ya kwan so enyo no kwa na edi se adwuma yo ono na ode otwa video no so ya ma na ba so say na ete say ye twa video ne ade social media ne ye na nya atemdidi rough na ye ne bie anim no bibi say na ese ye de social media ne ye na etwe mpanifo adwen eba so medime de say driver we enche posifo befa no omo no so omo papa na so be 6 me anya me nwanwa because anya human rights asem human rights na say driving na no ye no when you human rights asem we you be ono na dwen na wu ese ye kanya adwen no woni tirim ye kanya adwen no e woni tirim. Okay, 03022579002 and 03022435540. Kulungana force me kan cho se Pedro papa. Mr. Kill memedru. Ebeboa na sexual energy na kosoro. Ebeboa na wetume gina o nice watcher ye. Bema usisimu ebeye denia na ye Mr. Kill. Ebebustu immune system. Wono Mr. Kill na ye no ane se wo no ma sa keke. Ebemo ahoden so no ko ye adwuma won tebre. Kulungana, one of the X and Y granules, some of the aba. Bema will low sperm count, Mr. Ope X and Y granules. Na would you go when na wo win grill. To say yes, who prove with him. Araba bazen, a mamadi ni. Oba wo menstrual cycle nenko ye. Araba bazen, a homau. Menstrual cycle nenko ye. Araba bazen, a homau. Ken tablet, hypertension. Baby beyond to the kama. Besro hunchon capsules de ebema prostate no etimako ye pa etobomode say obenya Kulungana fundu paybi 0244 139 176 0244 139 176 and 0204 139 176 0204 139 176 and 0274 139 176 where your Kulungana for enipa wo de abadwa man so wo na eboa wo so dwumadi asene a ye de bra wo need 100.9 me kwa ma no so watch video no on Facebook ye sign the to obi na hwe ya behwe reckless driving we ni kwa na ya se eje vox ya semo ese se driver ni anadwen yagu adwenwu ye it is sad drivers no ye be omode yan ye nya omode yan wa ya kwan so me pa cho ma he yeah, Charlie, God what to say.
No, ya pa.
Yeah, then I go pass it. Yeah, too.
Hey, every adakabre, abedu diama, edu mageri, yanku ponse amo bebe.
Amen.
Despite ya group ni na ya bomo abaso.
Yeah, that's it.
Na aduro no die, sabina mama yire diama oba na wa jabre me waji.
Yo.
Na membo Moses Abuabaso or Bafo organizer region. And in need and so also bar for communication or he never need that or bar communication region. Magari, Adia Okai Yamahu Mahono pa Missy Kano, ASA Pepe. Na Yada Bitao. One my yes or more said yes or one check castle. Magere nanka nne nkani kwa klase obebra katanka tete blekwa ya tete wonu mo omo hu kwan tibi se aban no mo obuti se omo yes agima no nkatete omo adua no be magere won te kata o kata no nyina o te sia o bebre omo gina kwa so omo ada omo ni abrije omo gisika to kaso sprinters me see bidum Omu wo cars pa enam kwan so. Nti wo kia wo kokia onu ane ka wo. Nti obepina yesade no. Nti magya o man no de kele se ko no de gita de mpaibo afamu.
Sa
Bebre omu di abro. Driver wey nti we are thinking now who driver you be carelessness. Obi ahu. We are thinking now. Na adena popiment na ke driver ya ntini. Kete ba this time na driver na okram. Na ye di no pamra kwansu atwena so dindindin nti magere ya ne sana ne nua bi hu a kina ono so be ya ta kala driver no wow nti magere o man no ya wa somebody papa ya wa somebody papa oni nyam ya ji
medan se mame fa de odi ho meba cho me mo aha hello my hi hello oh yeah couple for us my ha
Magere, who me want to call and upon me face in one family. Magere, let's say.
ya me ado me ho ye pa so
Oh, carry on, Papa no Casano.
me am say ye abede
Oh, wait.
na wo sa no pa no frɛ manfa me de mesi den manfa e bia wo call no be si akire but call bia ba bia na efa
I said, well, she papa, for that, I be trouble now on the interview. Aye, the patrol. Jacket said, come out one of Adakable, yes, Adakable. And now, catch it. But that means you go to channel. And if you want to the mission, non can hold. Mama phone says, making a catch check. The patrol with the crack at the bound. Catch it for Mama for the ABC, or woman that, what you deep power, woman that, be done a pan. And now, you are Shama, so called communication officer, the patrol, Simon says, Montumano, Ashama for. Because of those Ashema and Jama Ashema Dino, Akobara, Mutubano, Mamu Cotet, all calls of food, and I'm calling Amomoli, the patrol, deputy communication officer, I was your Mutuba, and a Yahuza, organizer of two consultancy, Mutubano. Mike, the patrol. How did that a greater one? Oman Jabako and Kajabanashe. And I said, not passages woman.
ano na me ntimi nkyerei
Oh,
basa de ekone de me suspect say passengers wom
the passages room dia and the tankers one egg. You have for say, oh my and born, Nanka no point, yeah, in Kamis Desenka, next time no. Omo man kwano be shiba na for ma kamutina do. No the bit go on next time. We be shia dia. Mark, won that driver for na I'm no kama driver sleep you ka na ama voice the see em bad no. And so me say with about me you be to say but see there kono and say no do. But the penny driver now then because ya it do ya simple for mo hwehwem na mo impra omo am ye woni mo jom na afim na mark ameka say bako me slẹ NGT 24 me slẹ NGT 24 mon kai 2060 say ya na amodi ya mo na don drama ni mama o ya de papa ya si no mo ka say tia mama na we Victor Hama oko ye record oko kasa ke ye yi na diwe me paper to awisi mo pay you pay Professor Mate Tema every was or say kaka en say and then when ya no SI kata say obeka guarantee asem one sheye will come after him share ye jeja hu 2026 ye jeja hu kra and then if correct mo pay me schedule mo kata Professor Mate on ka no tum because MPP to say kaka no on kasa share ye pino da without saying I'm sure you do for bye bye.
medan say ana wo de okay need 100.9 mame fa do no so a beba cho memo how hello oh okay we fa for meba cho ma
Hello.
yes sir
Hello.
yes I tell
Aha. That's what my dear meet you.
yenua
Aha. In your driver, in my drum watch it. Now, imagine you say, what's the kind of band over? But should meet away a straight and almost where did you see a straight and I say, empty, the police force empty to you. Almost where did you see us here? I didn't call, said a 100 echo. And now this all do, you try to take the man. say the free Accra he Kumasi no ya trust say they are 5 hours 6 hours enti no kwan so na post phone so check the news happen ya check they said the can you chat way do who pay free station they are trust say free Kumasi take 6 hours and now 5 hours enti who do you know only na news they are check
okay. All right. Fabo from Amena na home and we free so.
Hello.
Maybe I told my
Champion McJerry.
Yes, sir. Yes, you are Marco.
We are going to be encounter.
Encounter.
Mincha income national chairman. You are honorable Bachi Ejakon. Even in a KBA owns the channel income national organizer. McJerry. Video ya come out me who Andra our TikTok. Na Andra me who message to me. Say adia na me dey here in fact I was set for action nobody needs that embrano no me the question say that anamo no tu yer pa no so far so pa any way did you oye and I question bi see ya or the ones boss say driver obonsem na aye no one at the same time about a break this is here so what can the break na especially no Mageri the best MTV for say that driver no to sadamo we pa there I was set almost feno no didn't jam rano the oye no and ya dear I was so oye no fun would you our garden the magma near ABC said yes no okasa and you offer respect and my own ejimu our menu Professor Mate means that even your ABC abo baby on the bebe so what turn out in so on man papa o pure question turn out in as on man papa Professor Mate or your president former moderator or in fact our menu to be a concert and be cost no almost some wading because the bonus of course at the rate here in Sony and Sarasano near me ABC and the edit they say in Zosana it's ABC to say then you create and so back and I say a toes one man minimum yes can tones on more minimum yes can be a fan tones and the young ones on home by say and near be a couple of independent as our minima Jamakanum Sawagging and first animal money bonnet cost the same Kuma the very Kuma a boy yeah never quite saying since I don't know when you channel where those about escafometer to Swanum then no yes can to Sunum you must know banner bra never you money need yes so yes I'm on your 70 yes you video better organ ha yes you say you see right and unani na onna awalo atasi we so you guys very bottom
na wonim say sa ade we no enya Professor Mate ne kasa yo nipo kasa ye no didi ne ye Mante Professor Joy Mante ena wamodi akwasha Professor Mate ono so ye Presby moderator ena wamodi akwasha ye former moderator eye Professor Mate but enya Professor Mate eye Professor Mante Right Reverend ono crab say me yes was a Prof Becca but Right Reverend Mante etiede ne Mante enye Mante yakuapim fooding enye Mate eti yakra no eye misconception say ye be kan sa so that's it
yo Mate na meka
me so me da sepa okay ma yemfa de ono so ewa ha me ba so me mo ha hello my hey hello oh okay
Hello.
maybe I saw my ha
You watch me Joseph
yet you
Chairman McG
yes sir
Rampa Chompo to say
nyame adoma de achemi o
ye do chediam ponya kopomba se ya do meradia se so de na chamani ni mini tutupachi ashima suwa kanable asumo do me kwa benya saifa na mebutio ra saya che wa homa ni mo dinche tete ho abaiwa hey chama gi wedin chiate wen koma minumi na MC honorable Edmond akupon shira papa ba omo no ho ba ma do me kwa benya
papa no ayi nhyira ma dɔme kwabenya ɔbaayɛ no dɔme kwabenya fa ne ntoma pa efura bebia ne bebia nyama pa ne ntuntum ma nko na ɛkɔ so mu yi akwan ba bia ɛkɔpɔ nhyira adu pago ɔnabo amenchia wa unya kuma Peter Kwesi Mensa na wɔtɛma shipyard ɛna yade nyina kwadwo dankwa ɛkɔpɔ nhyira mabuni ɔmo boa John Dramani Mahama mabu amana kɔnkai chawa maje ɛto da bi a wɔn nsɛm ni bi ha na wɔn hunu ne ka na akɔakɔyɛ sɛbe kasa ano akɔyɛ hye mahwɛ video no ɛyɛm sɛ nnora na mehwɛ video no na ɛyɛ akoma sɛyɛ kɛkɛ sɛ meyɛ obi te sɛ me sika ne mi bia ebia na nka me ne dɔla ne bɛtumi ako ansa ne yɛba bɛdu fie ɛfi sɛ na ɛhu paa o wode hwɛ sɛ nka wo sɛ kumasi kwan yi soso no nkyɛnkyɛn baabi wɔ hɔ a yɛ a na ɛyɛ asɛ anam ekumu kakra nti sɛ baabi saa na nka saa de wɔkɔsii a hwɛ si na no ɔsi nam ɛyi kwan na no pɛɛ bi asɛ wɔhyɛ da pɛ sɛ ɔkɔkum nnipa kɛkɛ ɛdeɛ nkora ne yɛsi wi saa drivers yi bi ɔkɔtena siti akyi a na wafa akyiri hɔ na wakɔte tot ɔkɔtena siti akyi a na wakɔ saasra bɛyɛ ɛyi teaspoon bɛyɛ mmiɛnsa na ɔde agu ne kɛtɛrɛm ase saa brabo fii wɔ nyinaa no mu yi o wokɔka na wadi watɛm yayaaya nti nyame ayado ni kasa video no moma yɛ mmɔ na baseɛ nana se sei ne tɔde ɔka sei na wɔsi yɛde social media ne yɛ na mmom nya mumuyɛ ma sɛde mprɛde asa nyansa nim na yɛnkyi saa driver no nkɔdi asi ase na ofiri mu fie obɛsua nyansa ɔma kanso de bɛsua deɛ na afei mede wie kaw sɛ ɔgye na ɔtwe atwa mu nsɛm bebree na akɔ so bɛme deɛ yɛ critical one na mɛkɔ bi yɛdɔme kwabenya dum so asɛm a aba menim sɛ yɛdɛn a mobɛka ho asɛm panyin aba bɛka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ ɔmo yi nsesaeɛ ɔmo yi transformers adada bi mu ne yɛasɛsɛ bi afiri system no mu yɛda n'ase ɔnyɛ ma yɛn na me deɛ mehwɛ ni maa tɛ te sɛ deɛ na woka yi na ma deɛ deɛ nti a mepɛ wɔ asɛm ni o sɛbe wowɔ abotɔyɛ mu wowɔ akoma a ɛdwoɔ wo sɛ at least yɛma no firi na nkɔsi bɛyɛ November mu na sɛ still saa dum so yi na ɛda so wɔ hɔ a na sɛ like maludu da so wɔ hɔ a then we have a room to complain. So what you say? Now, see, there, I am no one day you say there was some light issues we were. The shall say, and yes, Rico, and that's the one where the cafe are binding the echo because energy sector levy, collect, you know, in Cheshire, some year renovation, no more year, a first replacement of transformers there. Mijitum, Nemo. Misrama banse se omanti mi an deal with sadi we na say ebia nkosi November na ye say ka e be ye pinsi e betuma dia tu na so man ne mo mi wie kura galamse me empire me say me de NDC beto to MPP ho e fi so mo de omo nka sen omo te say ankacha de nti se etina to abayi omo firo because omo fairly galamse fighter na se Ghana for say nyagidi o John Dramani Mahama anya obi akeke o so ono a wabedi o man thing omo say no any John Dramani mo mu ye che tankofo ba kore dia me sraye man pani say your friend say state of emergency and a bit stop galamsey na man legacy na complete am sreno on declare na obi bia o so fe de 12 years so no a che ora de na che na grassroots no yakome de wisi nkofo wi akase ye nyom be kumbeti oni ho aikokun mo na wo share bo say nkofo bi edisika ye be be che o magum afie twem obi anam ho na omo bossere
okay medan say toto bachi medan say amo atwitwa adono ho a still ono wie Mamemfa dia odi ho na yenko. Okay. Ma hai.
Mejuso.
Yeti obra. Yes.
Osofo no na o kan sem no last week no ni ho no me wo wasa elia ho no ntimi.
Me ba to what the osofo no de no. Toto pachi. Ebe ke kan ye de twitwa egbe I am sam wako. Wo de yenka we nwie ye dura no so why.
Well, drivers no me wo tank mo me mate work an. Am private cars na ya mo driving. They be am so yes we go kwase me say ade omo so mo call driving school na say dey no mo kita kan. Overtake bi a enye necessary no ya mo ye wo kwan so. ade wo ye mi vie ade no wa mo be okofa mbeside o if you make phone wo ho no okofa e na person oba ni dale ni bedale sinu obi ani mu se ka bia ba okokake se we atketa no besiano akombe kan se we atketa reba na ye debi asa no mu ka okon se ka kese de omu bu omu ka kitiwa no okwan so ma nye sa na ti wan wa de asi ena ya we mu omu news na mu man no MP na mu ye no interview na MP na mu ye interview o si aban ye oye ade ye be bo na lati no be gina so MP bi time no mato meters na to transformer no to
okay whether here train energy minister why into the infancy ho yen kwa enim na yen fa de ono nso edi ha need 100.9 beba cho memo ha oh antu yamba beba cho ma ho okay 0302257902 video ya ye ne driver ya na dwenye wu a eche say all driver reckless e wo kwan ho 0302 0302 257902 0302257902 and 0302243540 etio
Major nyamia so yinka e
encouncil
pacha uni aba Rose Queen of the Air with me butu achama lebano Major dedi kai mama chami papa ona boda na mate mensa koma le jokuku MC mishano pa Major I hope say you emra o minimum e ma drivers for who drive careless you emra e video and I hope say zero na be that point ama penifo ni na hu ye police force hu ye e say branch no ye pa no kodina emra no ne emra ne ndi and say obi be frɛ oba do say we me nipa engine debida e say emra ene ndi na enless ma o mo amu drive careless wo Ghana no mu ya mu keso no mu tiati aye drive ene Majere mesa boy select John Dramani Mahama abaso say waba bonti abekate light of na e cost no enye dum so ne bon eye transformers na aye dada no ene cost problem no nti omo atokufra ba omo tesi mai omo change ne na amaye yeda na say sa na e pe leader bibi cost na enye ya leader oba bonti ntem no omo atimamfo na hu de e cost that's a good leader nti ho me bona abaso na mastre energy minister say on fa ne nine form on ma ne nko ne duma ye fo no ho papa no man ne to underground because ye won kofo bi organ ha Majere illegal no e too much me many twabi pa enti ye besre no ECG fo no oni omo ye duma no on set committee bi on pay security bi on monitor system no mu no mo peto mbe ye Ghana duma ye no ne emna ne omo di because ye won kofo bi organ ha Ghana ni ye de omo pe Ghana ni stay ye na omo pe se president mama o power obeye nyama yinde omukwa de omumpe bese nyamiti asenkwa de mesi Ghana ebeye ye president mama wo power ni kamise ka obaye de ogusu tutu nyama ya Majere ye nya ye bedide enti nyame nka ne hu ase
yo me ba cho so me da se pa neat 100.9 me ba cho yes
Majere utemenka wadamfu orubon kwasi watin live from Cantonment to Market, Accra, Ghana.
Mo.
Majere mpacho memo adwuma memo house so.
Me ba che adwuma ye na majozo.
Yo, Cantonment to 24-hour economy and for uni agrokra.
That's right.
Na mi srawo.
Me da so.
Mpacho mami che ni baba ko pe ni nko manim. Woman organizer, Greater Accra hanyina woman organizer incoming the oba aye Naomi Akosuya Owusu. Onwa na Greater Accra hanyina onwa na eko ana abuajaji akonso the national chairman wafa Majere me pa chawo se papa Mahama eka se dumso yenya botare yeni abotare
me ba cho what dey ye be kan no driver na adwen agu ne kan asem
okay
what dey say ya na mo dey wada ana meja mo sa because ana kasa no kra ma bre
me pa cho ma daruma
yo
me kan driver no first ma wure fie adaba fo yeni pa bia ebi afuye de papa last and we Saturday no me frika so eko akra eko kaswa driver America fu we ka wentem ani as driver to book akra adena mo fati me so mo peka sasa ade just mo akoma ya na be cha driver fo ni bi mu just omo ko ti bi ko so sa me pentem ko ba na ko ba na ko kun ya e family men you ya kam kwala ne and that was for no munya botare omunya ne bin entia futu adaba fo no bin pa futu kura o kan na ne buafu ana ya betre last one ya betre papa mahama say dun so ndie on se no so no mai la Saturday me kwaye e wa ka so new town me madam for ibe ni bi ne wuye bobo ejram dingingi ni buye mu afoyi yani mo ka afi o mo say mahama anyonyo nto ana mo say anyonyo nto munya mu mo so pe am be ke
okay medan say enyam kan ande ne be di nkomo energy minister enya ne tie say no mienu oba be kasa nti yebetie dia ode ba betudwa be ba choma ha
yeja
de tie obra
okay majari we uni abe afa satam ka se amasawan
yo
makna ebiyam nam titeni
bramba to say
pacho nam titeni
oh nyame adom boko
de duwe de biasa ma tempo wani shila so wani yedi ade ba ko pana misel sunsum ne honam nyankopon bambo mo ho ban the two be po ba tu anye na kanto ni fada tin odi de meko
yeah that's it
me money bless on fatso
me that's pa
no pan to na ma so me so drivers for the na wo pan so me be na people drivers me washing bay drivers so majority of them Mark, sometimes driver at Minister Ghana driving, one say you move a brain, and I saw because you have been chiriba, also to drive Ghana. So when you said you here, meaning if you have been chiri or more driver, be quite a taxi driver of duty, Baba Ghana because of color driving. Market to the big traffic light here do Mark now because yeah, because I'm yet to me, maybe I said like directly. Traffic light actually. Abeka junction bisi tell be kana light off. We muso dinamo bi. Sana be ko ba from Kumasi kwa Accra kwa Kumasi. In discipline o kwa so do bi am afa ka no e de esi kwa no so. O kisi over street de ni pe kwa. It is a pan this the time or some more police for monitor a kwa MTT for. Ye monitor ko. Ye put ni pata hoban. You know that life is precious. Nipa spend nkwa into me be able to be a man. Nanso e na 77 nipa ba akobi entina mani obi the full video ko ba ni we. Nti se the can be transfer nya me kwa bantom ni nya. Driver ni die wakwa be do pi. So baby a ukwa na kwa na ukwa na 3 hours. Na obetuma to go as the 3 hours 30 minutes na 3 hours to 4 hours. Are you okay? A boy save your life. You want to grab back when you to see car open in Pamcho. By any good to accident, or you are the poor then a maximum in Pamcho. This is the time empty to back a baby Sam, but I'm telling you, almost a friend. And your friends are barrier. You could see for question. One saw more added that this is that the end from Achimota Kukuti barrier, a month for to Magel with the Sada didn't want back at him. Obi want them done. That the end of what you to Tom, that you are standing, that the end of your home, Obiana home for two. Car woman in the face. Overshoot that brother for me. You're more.
That's just a name in an omugusu ye that the end because you can't want someone you know.
Oh, my dear, what do you a farm and what do you take? Type of dancing, a Kukusi barrier.
Taifa Junction ni ade nyina de ebi cars no se cars no bubomu a na amanfo akoyi na che so omo so de ye omo business
why you man no nti o see scrap biere be tu asa da biere mu o be ko je 10 years on before me dey help ade na nyame ko take mbo twan ya so Sada dia ni kana buo ni buo. Ye be bole ni okoto ka Daniel to okoto like Daniel to.
Me friend Madam for Engineer Abdullah Muhammad me be say that dey na cost saying. One more construction works na and the boy saying. Okay. E be a meter be a boy saying. Me that's a pa bra and also what they aba and awie. Me ba cho ma hi.
Yeah, Mark Jerry.
Bra, is
Yeah, I do Mark Jerry. Uni kuma Gideon ye.
yo.
Because Fabeka.
Okay.
My for a video so now Forestry Commissioner, Dr. Brown, on the deputy Timothy, I went to him and chairman. Now, Okanko Central Woman Organizers. You deal a national deputy organizer. October now could DNU. Mark Jerry, and now, Sa Kawa will come once a minute. Na me de me bona baso kese pa ye nipa o ye sa video sa ade we ni ade a esese ikuta phone sa ye tade ye because the one video sa ade we ya nko bi ka kura he kura nka
Sana ke ye hu
Mark me hu ye me hye me papa me tika no mu a anhwe yi a me hu ni nka beto me because ade na ye hu wa to say sa tikweta no se wan wini nipa no ho na oye na adwe se nko wa nya adwe se o ma no kwan kakra amuna fo mo ntemu a eke nu anka se nu ampo me de nu amu na mu video nka de si ye ne nkenye eke nti adama fo mi nu ade a ye no mu ye se sa akete ehun hia se nipa gu wachi na obefa ka kwan so no wa ye se enti me de oye video no me dana se pa na Mark yenko dum so iso oni bibi
Makasa Dumson the affair the video
Mahama se Mahama be reshuffle or the first person for Susano miminya ye kwa ne for is it 2 o'clock or kasa we so or reshuffle because when him say 2024 year election na MPP agenda nyina say John Mahama de oba Dumso John Wamba Dumso John Wamba ya mpa so within 1 week pepe who ni first minister o kasafa energy hu say MPP ko akajaba 3 days so say 6 days pe and you wo 2 ye the power ai na when him say no so MPP ka na when you when wa ko secretary ada hwe ene John Mahama on ada ne ho PR
okay
ene ne obetrim na mi fa na o ti wa eden
me da sebra that's about asemo statement bi wa bonten na okay, o de me fa we mra. Me ba cho ma ha. Hello ma ha. Hello.
Yes, I'm Magari.
Yes sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, bra.
Apo man.
Me ho yo.
Magari your friend making ni fefe achimota. Yo, enshira wo na pa udi bo magana. Na misaka we fidie kese dia na chia mempi honorable Teresa Lada woni wa usu Magari woni mi say woni ya meko o kanko enough as executive member mako deputy communication ye wini city no na meko executive me wini na mesa mechi akobio nti odu wo ma kanko enough wo mo nheme ni nyam na ade ba kwa woda to ga aye me tekase ni say I will say you should drive no na echi no no am there because the be mass man can say call enya kunhia o kan ankasa nkonkinya kunhia na mum ni pot ni chi no anno makal enya kunhia nti abra mo kan say sa Toyota Bozio say den no nka omo pese mo band no na me na dey anso na mo kan nipa o tu kan ankasa a wo se mutu no funu muntu no fu na ade no so na obi amba fa nko a osu omo no abede na sa ade no kokan akunhia mo ayi and he said, "Oh, video na, you should do ya, aka casino, no, nanka by me there. But here's the case when you tell him, into I was say, I may I said the little piano, penny for Moshe, no much on no much be a and share, no much on a soon. I'm a next time on conquer BBC no Monkosher, impact a different. Nanka almost a view canum nanka, almost nunca, yeah, Tampa Kunumpa, washing nunquano. I know she feel. No mo careless wo driver wo careless nti amama ebusia kase ase ebebutu na ewie ya mu anape me ko moves Bageri me ko moves say me ko aka pendue kaka na na bobo me ye no tu one bi na me kokodu o man light off
muso Kaifa Johnson muso mko ko do light off ejomo na manfo kasa mama ye ti say mama ti say bio engineer sem kwa na izia yenhu na ne promo si breya ewie kete ya se bi bio amanfo mpe light ayi duma mama light off no into wey John Junapo then energy minister esro enyi mi ai for na sifo kwai for na sifo me dum so no kwaso do
all right yo bedas pa energy minister said a medical kan na me try sank e be pick from the energy ministry no na ye hu hwen because Ghana fo be hia se won bete nsama or the babetu dwane ye hu hwen na obekasa me ba cho me ma ha o hello hey asemne enjema ni naso ahoma na mse o ma na cheki on hey hello ma
Hello.
Yes sir.
Baba, good afternoon.
Meshak Asante.
Yeah, Baba. Yes, area.
Yeah, share bi mo ha.
Baba, video mo kan wan sam no. Na me nu patiko. Minya enya bi hwe.
Oh, okoye Facebook no so abi ho.
Na so say the music kan dey na je say ade a ehu pa.
Oh, ehu. Driver ni dey na dwen o. Bibia me no no mabu a yen conclude ye wo bre say ye twema saba we de ye ne ye ne ehu a enye AI no. E je say driver ni no o driver ni atum say adwen no ewu. Ente so driver kra Ghana.
Bibia me ko me say why o yi na kopon ko na okutemu. Se wu tu kwan o koforo ka kwa dia ko ukroma na ko ba bia na Daniel sie. Sansa o so ekuma skoin a mbisu na mfiri a already kwana nkasa no problem also ana driver for enso a ekuta car no so uni wo mo adwene so etide bia na koye ohaw ne amane na dia ma yenya ye forecast eko baby ayeko also accident ya ACC kumlipa mesimu be 85% careless driving and ekunye etiwei senga anye yiye ana kai e de panya waku amafo breadwinners waku am kwa so e dey say the music no wo mu ni nsemu na ba bia mbe hu dragani ni bia no wo mu ti no ni na disuade fama foforo that's say ka bia lu a enu atu ya na ekokum nipa e nipa ene tifidie nachi ana wo tintim no etibe bia nipa ne pese ode ka ne kono ana ka no su follow ana ekọ etiye besre yenu ma dava fo sabe mo na mo de yeko ana mo de yeba aya mo nyu ye so ye ho na mo nyu mo so mo ho sa se mo nyina e de panya wo a wo twika no wo so beru bi ana wo so wabusua e wo yire e wo ma wo ya sa na so de asema de aba da ma wo di ka wo se na energy minister
ogusu okasa da bi okasa kra me na okasa ogusu okasa washase ese no mienu no mo de share ti washase e kasa
ye de ka na esi amenu kasa adwumam ya dwumlat me to wa se no dinye dwuma ena so koko board ye damu e ma de chen na ye tene ma so omo aka akyere enema omo ye wo system num se transform omo sano ye be se won fa ni nansi fom se wan se ya se dwuma we be ma omo pani ma dwuma pa wo ye nyina no ayekwa sana meka se ne sekre obi ono onime Temza Kasante oye indis ni wasame o tiptole mo ana ai duzaba ye ba pamu duzaba be pamu ana mse yake mo ba pamu ne yeso be hwese mo ko fo mo sa system ni mo a se sabotage mo sabotage yeso be do na sa ade abanu tumi se wonu da sum no so ye ne de because of politics inti
meda say yanko your name energy minister kusoa or kasa sabri wo Jubilee House ejuna na ye energy situation no oboy amane na ahwe dia ekoso ewo munti ye betimi afa feed ne kakra nso na ye de ma ye saka ye de bebro badoguso asabri oguso kasa ma hi
hello my dear
yes I tell
ni dankwa me kasa free medina ye bomo boso
Majority would say, can't question, it wouldn't 98% a drivers. And not passengers in this piece of count, Mazaquaso, passengers around like a pay gun, a pay gun, a pay gun, or more company. And so I didn't see. Yes, of them, I began, oh, and I've won some African quantity, they might be a friend of some. Here, the friend of some we are saying. I don't know, I need to make ya over book if possible. But as enemy strength is in empty before, with politics in a dozen, or money, politics, yeah, and it's empty for format of cooperation. Madam Murphy.
Beba Jones, here, that's it. I know what dear. Right, how you need 100.9. Ebefa, the last 2 callers near the Sima. Yet you.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you call.
Nigeria, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Biaboko.
Nyamia Dom.
Mr. Sasiri Ashama. Driver now some of the person. And the power man who send the war or drive you. Send away in a day, yen. But coming for, can say a bonabasu. So won't go. And come over, I was seeing Yamia. And come home say yes. You drive here. You take it time. So no, you just somebody who was and say, Nanny Patching. Majari.
Yes.
Hello, and Patchonani Pawum.
Mepacho, me Timubio, you and I were not there.
Okay, okay, Mrs. Overton Casabia, Nipawum.
There be me to mention it.
Okay.
But me can't see now, me suspect, say, now, Crawford, be Maka driver, no.
Okay. Okay. And I want one for the Muslim on any Yamuko. The other person is energy national. So we see energy minister Kasa, you away.
And yes, or Kasai, Ogusu Kasa. It will cry for corner see. Now you couldn't put any kakra, Medas a power wine, I'm sure. I'm a joint energy minister Gusu Kasa.
With you, nation restored yesterday. This afternoon, as I was about preparing to come for this briefing, I received confirmation from the acting Gridco MD and the VRA MD that the second unit has also been brought and is generating power. I've also been reliably informed that the third unit is undergoing works and that it will be brought on as soon as possible. When we bring on the third unit, it then paves the way that the new technology, the innovative technology that they've never used following this incident has proven to be successful. Then they will bring on the remaining 3 units. On behalf of government and on behalf of the good people of Ghana, I wish to seize this opportunity to commend and salute our engineers and technical teams who have remained on site, working tirelessly under extremely difficult conditions to restore the system to full operation. Let me tell you that your dedication, your professionalism, and unwavering commitment in the face of these daunting challenges and situation is truly, truly commendable. I salute you, I thank you, I commend you, and I'm immensely proud of what you've achieved so far. Given the situation, I've also directed the MD for the Electricity Company of Ghana to provide regular and timely updates to the public on areas that will be affected. We will not shirk responsibility. We will not deceive you. When I briefed the President told me to be honest and transparent. Yes, this unfortunate incident leaves a gap, and so it will affect some people. And so ECG, under the management of Engineer Julius Pekwena, have been publishing regional updates. And in collaboration with the Ministry of Information, we're even going to make it more available for everybody to see what is happening. But because it is fluid, because it's not like the regular load shedding, where you are aware that for a foreseeable period of time, you cannot restore power, we cannot do weekly publications. In fact, engineers are working around the clock. Within this week, they are pushing to restore all the plants back online. And so we can only provide you with a very short interval period Indeed, this morning, we published a schedule for 6 o'clock to 6 p.m. That's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This afternoon, they've had to review it because one more plant is come on with about 140 megawatt. And so we would not live in denial. When we face challenges, we will tell Ghanaians. We know that, like me, every Ghanaian wants to enjoy uninterruptible supply of power. But I also do know that Ghanaians also appreciate it when we have genuine challenges that is not caused by policy failure or intentional. We will be honest with you, but we'll also tell you what we are doing to address the situation. And we have since been doing that right from the day I visited the plant and all the periodic updates that we've been providing. Let me also state clearly that disasters of this nature are neither predictable nor entirely preventable. And even in advanced countries, sometimes they face challenges. However, what remains within our control is the speed, the coordination, the honesty, and the determination with which we respond to these challenges. In our attempt to swiftly restore power, safety would remain paramount. The safety of the engineers is very, very critical. We can't afford to lose even one soul or sustain any injury. And so this work ought to be done diligently, meticulously, in accordance with safety standards. We would move with alacrity, we will move swiftly, but we will not seek to cut corners. To get to the root cause of this incident, as Minister for the sector, I've constituted a technical team chaired by the Venerable Engineer Williams Amuna to conduct a thorough and independent investigation into the incident. They will focus on the technical issues and come up with a report in 2 weeks. I'm well aware that the security agencies are also conducting a parallel one, looking at possible culpability and criminality, and we'll be waiting for that investigation. Let me assure Ghanaians that we remain fully committed to restoring normalcy within the shortest possible time. I've been briefed that the engineers are working around the clock this week, and I intend to visit them this night to thank them and encourage them. I wish them the best of luck, and I know they can rise to the challenge. And from what I'm witnessing, the engineers have indeed shown that they can do it. Thank you very much. Let me now deal a little bit with the few pockets of distribution challenges that we face. Many transformers across the country are becoming obsolete and overstretched due to increasing demand and years of underinvestment. In about 10 years, our demand has doubled. In fact, when you look at the record, it has more than doubled. What it means is that we have to increasingly invest in the sector. But due to underinvestment over the years, this has resulted in overloads, low voltages, and recurring outages. Government is addressing this issue head-on by implementing a nationwide transformer upgrade and replacement program. As an immediate intervention, this month alone, we have installed almost 200 transformers, and we have the list with Roxanne. He will make that available to you. In Tamale, on the day of the incident, I personally visited Tamale, and we have the list of all the areas that these transformers have been installed. This week, we intend to deploy another 140 of these transformers. In all, we seek to deploy 2,500 transformers to improve supply reliability and improve the voltages as well. To improve these voltages, high capacity transformers are being deployed at key primary supply stations. Already, we have done Adenta, and that can be verified. We've done Lashibi, that can be verified. Yesterday, we did Teshinungwa, that can be verified. Within this week, by close of week, we will move to Kumasi, to tackle the Ridge primary substation. These are big transformers. And we are moving away from the 20 kVAs to about 30 kVAs and above. And that tells you that we are really investing in the sector. But it takes a bit of time to realize the benefits of all the investments we are making. The Ghana Grid Company is also preparing to commence critical transmission reinforcement works in Kumasi in June. And what we've decided is that we should allow the World Cup to pass. After that, we'll zoom in to do the transmission works. We're also working on some distribution lines, and Avensis will move to Kumasi this very week to commence work on the distribution lines. To further strengthen the system in Kumasi, Senate Energy Limited is airlifting a critical component which is expected to arrive here tomorrow and will be transported to Kumasi to further strengthen the generation network in partnership with Gridco. And so let me assure you that we are confronting both immediate disruption and long-term structural weaknesses within the ECG and NETCO operational areas. We inherited a challenge, but we are determined to address that challenge, like we did with the fuel issue, with the generation issue, with the IPPs, and all the other hydra-headed problems that we encountered. We are restoring what has been disrupted. We are replacing what is not fit for purpose, and we are determined to build a stronger, more resilient power system for the future. We remain fully committed to delivering reliable electricity supply to every Ghanaian. This experience you are going through is transient, it is temporary, and I assure the people of Ghana that we shall work around the clock to restore normalcy and improve the sector. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all. I'm most grateful.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Tiabusia, Energy Minister, and what about the top fan with your Wakasa Bay? And was about 20 minutes. Be we're brief on Ramamo Edia Mayen. As I say, the one can say, the SU Akosomono, one instructed Zawamunyo Humo, Managing Director, Electricity Company of Ghana. I catch and say, baby, on Beko be on Mamma, near. Winning Yadi Afini Babe schedule timetable, and the Ekika home. Na my interest a bit to your questions in Agra. Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, Alex, crowns were DNA. Yet your questions because now me what questions be and make candy tune from me and opano. Say won't be to me a bisa. A dear interest and central for the share of honor. Won't be to me bisa questions in here and you be at me because no timelines. It Jimmy's will be baby said they are okay. Is a timelines bang the year Juma. In they say yet to me home. Na yehu dia etuam ena yate say yes we been step aside ne bi keka say it's a rolling yes some crofo bi nipa bi sabotage ana eno nso e say yehu because ne the program so kra no Ali Ibrahim Babekan e say tell me yakọ enim na yentie kakra say these questions in be pia
leader here will possibly do it in Chi or Ga. So can we please have a rap in Chi? Said the beya, yeah, yen to me cerebro for nimu yen Chi for no more metiase, na yanko kase minister ne say so non kai medas.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, Hanan, please move to the microphone. Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Abdul Hanan Adam, and I work with the EIB network. Minister, you said the ECG boss would, or ECG would provide timely update with regards to when these lights will go off. But is it not to say that that is publishing doomsday timetable in disguise, as the minority will put it? How do you respond to that? My second question has to do with the shake-up in the Ashanti region. Is it that you decided to do the shake-up because you agree with the party chairman in the region that it is some sort of sabotage with regards to power distribution in the region? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Maxwell Agboba from Joy FM Joy News. I have 3 questions. I don't know if I can ask them.
You need to make them snap.
Okay, yeah. So the first one, the minister
rightly mentioned that we are facing this double whammy of a challenge in the power sector because of one, installation of transformers, and then the fire incident at the Akosombo Gridco substation. Now, I want to find out from the minister, for many of the people who are watching us, they want timelines on when all of this is going to end. I know the minister touched briefly or gave us a time to anticipate that it's all going to end, but many of the people watching us want clear timelines. They just want to see their lights on, and that's their concern. So I want to find out from the minister what clear timelines can he give. And then the second question, it's a public interest question. I've seen comments on social media that the Gridco boss was actually asked to proceed on leave in April. He was given his letter in February. And that release saying that he's been asked to go on leave is just a face-saving thing by the government. I would love that he responds to that for me as well. And then my third question, what lessons are we learning from this incident? It is a force majeure, of course. We don't have any control over it. But what buffers are we going to create so that another time we have a force majeure like this, consumers and Ghanaians will not face this kind of disruption, in power supply? Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. So you will take the last one from Bloomberg, after which you answer.
Thank you very much. Yeah. My name is Eko Moses. I correspond for Bloomberg. Honorable, regards the suspicion of possible arson, is there scope to use AI and security, special security installations around these, even the new ones you are installing, the 30 kV and what have you? Is there scope to use that and also to monitor for subsequent events when they happen? Two, regarding 1,000 megawatts that you said we have lost, can you put it in size and scope for us in proper context? For example, what is our total peak capacity or installed capacity or peak demand, so that we can put this rather in proper context? And also, if you're installing new transformers, how is that going to affect our installed capacity moving forward? For just proper context. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So the minister would answer these 5 questions. After which we take.
Thank you very much. Before the incident, you would attest that last year the power supply was very, very stable. Indeed, we received a lot of commendation following the generation stability and the supply we had. This current challenge came up around February, March, when we started moving into the heat, and some of these old transformers, in the heat of it, you begin to experience it. So that's a record. What has just happened last week, like you said, it's a force majeure. It's something that you do not have control over. And that ties into the last question. Our peak demand is about 4,350, or say 4,400. So if you lose 1,000 megawatts, that's about 25% of the population instantly suffering or being without power. So that's quite significant. But like I said, 2 units have been installed so far. The 3rd unit is on the way. And in terms of what you describe as timelines, I said the engineers have set an ambitious target that within this week they will restore. Transformer replacement, we have a first 3-month program. So in the next 3 months, we're going to do an emergency crash program of installing transformers. Then the next 6 months, we'll move into another phase. Then 1 year, we'll just be doing regular upgrades. And so in terms of specificity, when it comes to timeline, that is it. Stepping aside of the Gridco MD, yes, I visited the site, I think on Friday. And after receiving the briefing, I was convinced that he needed to step aside. It's in his own interest. You just spoke about conspiracy theory, all kinds of speculations and accusations. In fact, it helps him that when he steps aside and we conduct an impartial investigation, and it's done without prejudice. If you look at my letter on Friday, I stated that without prejudice, I've directed as minister that he steps aside. That is different from taking your normal leave. This is not a normal leave. If it's a normal leave, you can choose to come back. It's a normal leave, we can recall you and say that forgo your leave because we need you, especially in this critical moment. This is a ministerial directive, and so shall it be. Timely updates on when the areas will be affected. We've been providing that. In the past, sometimes we tend to try to dribble and deceive the people. You can't deceive the people forever. There are people at Gridco who will speak to the other party. It's not everybody who will be aligned to the government in any organization. And so when you are shedding 700 megawatts, and in the past you pretend and tell the people that you are not shedding.
Neat FM Neo! Neat FM Neo! Utie oha echi ponkno. Neat FM.
Ya no me bibrime. Ye nya kofa tu yeso. Etu esi be mabo. Okunkunim kofa ejina ne so. Akwara padi kokwe hu ededa mana na ekire no. Ye ne. Adeshiamra kroma dansidifo mehwe kasemu.
And in the past you pretend and tell the people that you are not shedding load. The people know.
Neat FM Neo!
Shedding 700 megawatts. And in the past you pretend and tell the people that you are not shedding load. The people know.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, asew. Hey, now beka.
We have adopted a new technology never used to resolve this challenge. You owe it a duty of care to Ghana to serve in the energy sector with diligence and with patriotism. If we find out that you are not doing so, irrespective of where you come from, we will deal with you. And I think you should encourage us to deal with the few ones or whoever may not be working in accordance with the ethics of the profession. It's not that we are doing politics, but let's ensure that the right thing is done. If you decide that you want to work in ECG, you have decided that you will give off your best. And so should that be. Lessons learned. We've learned one lesson. And the first lesson is that we can reliably supply power without Akosombo. Hitherto, a lot of the engineers believed that Akosombo served as a balance of power. And that without Akosombo, the whole transmission system would come crashing. They have also just discovered that in emergency, they can evacuate power even when the control room is burnt. And what they've done is to go around the control room and use high-level technology to inject power through the switchyard to Tema and redistribute the power. And I find this novelty highly, highly commendable. Ghanaian engineers, I'm proud of you. The next lesson is that we need a minimum of about 1,200 of redundancy. Because your next biggest generation plant, you must have its equivalent and above. Because in the past, we've seen the Akosombo failing through the dam drying up, hydrology, and sometimes some challenges. Now, the reality is that we lost the entire Akosombo plant. And in my history and my training in the energy sector, I've never heard this, that you lose the entire Akosombo plant. So it means that immediately we must kick in some measures to increase efficient, cost-efficient and affordable increased generation. It comes at a cost, but we must balance it and ensure that we deal with that situation. Suspected arson. We are not ruling out anything at this level because it's too early to draw conclusions. And I think that we should allow the committee to do its work. It's not for anything that we establish that committee. Like I said, national security is also handling their aspect of it. And so our appeal to all of us, we swore an oath to do good. So please let the investigations conclude. When we get the results, we would implement the findings of the results to the letter. Thank you very much. I think I have dealt with all the issues. Thank you.
Well, there was a request for a summary of what you said in Tree, but that will be for later. So please identify yourself and shoot straight with your question.
Good afternoon. My name is Romeo Teta, report for Amoto 92.3 FM. Honorable, please, my question will be on the stolen ECG cables. So far, who is being prosecuted for it?
We would prefer that the question focuses on. No problem. Minister has offered, but let the questions focus on the immediate issue at hand. There's a tendency for you media men to divert attention from, not that anybody is running away from accountability, but I think that we are in an emergency situation and the people out there require specific answers. So please let us keep it that way, yes. So we'll make an exception for you.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Then please add the second one to it.
So go ahead.
That after 2024, the ACG had a lot of debts. Please, can we know the person responsible for it?
Responsible for what?
For the debts.
The debts.
Debt after 2024.
Well, I'm not too sure whether. Anyway, the minister will do his best to answer. All right. Hanan, but you've been here.
Oh, just one more. Minister, just recently when the Iran-US war happened, government intervened to cushion Ghanaians. In the face of this, are we to expect that you would intervene to ensure that Ghanaians have respite because lights are going out? People will have to buy fuel to power their generation and all that. Are you considering that? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I'm Reverend Edie of GNA. My question is Ghana going nuclear in terms of power production? And when will when will the vendor be selected to start the nuclear project in Ghana?
Okay.
Thank you.
So you are talking about alternative sources of power generation?
Yes.
All right. Komla, please go.
So just like you called my name, I work at TV3. First, was the Akosombo facility insured? And what is the status regarding insurance of the various energy installations we have across the country? Then two, we have had in the past, somewhere 2024, the past administration said that they were doing Doom CSA. What is the situation as it stands now? Is it Doomso or is Doom CSA?
I'm not too sure that we are keen on sloganeering.
No. It's not about this sloganeering though,
yes.
But it is what exactly the situation is, because there was the justification in the past that they needed to put the light off and then fix what the problem is.
Well,
just
I believe the minister has
also
explained, but he
down
will
the line.
reiterate it for you. Yes. Yeah, as for that.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Minister. My name is Patrick Asford Boyd, Radio Good. Briefly, I just want to find out, until recently, when we engage or the country has started experiencing this energy crisis, the people of Water Region and Uti have been complaining about low currents. If you'll be able to let us know what is the situation now. And also want to find out, even though rehash about the reload or the load shedding, I just want to know the communication strategy that the ministry has in terms of educating the public on this current situation. Thank you very much.
And I might add on behalf of the people of Ashanti that the minister reiterates the specific problem in Ashanti and what is being done to address it, because the issue of water has come up. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Akosia, you have the floor.
I am Akosia Ochre. I work with Ghana's most reputable brand, City FM. So, Minister, my question is simple. I want to know when last the Akosombo substation facility was inspected under your watch, in terms of when did it go through safety checks?
All right, thank you. So, Max, I'll give you the last word for this round. Do we have any other questions? Okay, all right. Yeah, so we'll take a third round because it's a special session today, yes.
So the minister mentioned that some units are back on stream. I want to find out,
what percentage of the 1,000 megawatts that they lost, what does it represent? The units that are back on stream now,
we'll repeat it.
How many megawatts of what we lost is now back?
He said it already, but we'll repeat it for your benefits. So let's take this. Is there any other, please? Okay, so this. Okay, you can come back. So you will be the last question now for today. All right.
All right, so my name is Belinda Nankwansa. With Wezo TV. Now, I'd want to ask the minister, given the scale of current disruptions, what is the realistic timeline for full restoration of stable, uninterrupted power in our communities?
I believe someone asked that question, but it's good that you've emphasized.
Because yesterday I had light outs twice.
All right. We apologize profusely for that, but the minister would answer your question here. So, you have the last word.
Thank you. Minister, I indulge your waiver to do something upstream because it's all related. We noticed that on the back of the energy transitions and what have you, investments in that sector seem to have suffered or gotten some dwindle. Government said it's going to make the place quite exciting.
Which sector are you referring to?
That is the upstream oil and gas sector, where government was supposed to give better fiscal regime to encourage more investments. This will translate into more power and what have you, given that we have our second Atuabo plant supposed to be in the offing. What is the update on that, and have we gotten any interest beyond the fact that Lukoil and the rest were all interested in coming back? Can you update us on that? Thank you very much.
Because of your organization, I would permit that question. Yes. All right.
Okay. I think the first one was on the debt situation. Like we said, we inherited a debt of about 80 billion cedis. And we've been addressing the debt situation, paying off legacy debt, and also working very hard to pay the IPPs a chunk of what is due them. When we assumed office, the IPPs were paid about 40%. We've taken it to as much as around 90%. In some instances, some even receive 100%. And so there's been remarkable improvement when it comes to the debt. Then cushioning. I have no problem if government cushions people, but we should avoid what happened in the past. And the ECG MD is here. During COVID, you were told that you'll be given free electricity. This government came and we are paying for that so-called free electricity. And so my advice has always been that it's good to provide the people with subsidy, it's good to cushion them, but let's budget for that and make the funds available for that subsidy. Nuclear, we are on that, and we are working very hard. Insurance, I want the investigation to address all the issues of insurance and related matters. And so I do not want to prejudice the issue of insurance. Whether doom CSCA, doom or doom cra or doom so, the first thing is, let's be honest. Look, once in a while we can have challenges, like we are just witnessing. Unpredictable, nobody foresaw it, nobody could tell the magnitude of it. And when you have such a situation, don't try to play tricks with the people. We have a deficit. And we've admitted that because of the fire incident, we have a deficit. I've directed ECG provide periodic updates on regional basis, areas that will be affected every 12 hours, because it's a very short duration. Like I said, we are looking at this week. So you can't do a weekly schedule. And even what you provide a day, it keeps changing, because just this afternoon, we've had another plant come on. We are looking at another unit coming on. So we provide that periodic update. People are not happy. That's a fact. But I know that people are discerning. People are very discerning. Ghanaians have the wisdom. And they know that we have a legitimate, genuine challenge that is not of our making. And they know that we are putting efforts to address that. That is a better approach than telling the people that you are engaging in doom CSA. Volta region, we have a peculiar problem that we inherited. We operate 161 kV lines, 275 kVA lines, and 330. That section that you are talking about, they do not have any of these lines. And you can verify from the engineers. And so the voltages will be unstable since independence. But we are not just complaining. We are finding solutions. We've worked with Gridco. The immediate thing we are going to do is to construct a 1-6 line from Asiepe to Ho.
Okay, eti abusia esamna na energy minister guso a oyi ano ede ema central for mbisa no. Honestly, me question is be in central for ni bisa because me can say some kan nyina manya timelines bi awom. Eti ampo no so say ECG for no betwa now the timelines bi e dey abai when to me specify any timelines. Ena enweche no shake up no so mo bisa no. Say eye shake ups ahodo a ekukọ okoso no eye ede benya eno no ka say yes womo no mani edi akire a womo hwe say nipa womo ye adwuma ECG no eye ethics a womo de ye adwuma wo ho no mbedi so say obi anda ne dane ne nti womo ye investigations bi no me ne ade enu nti na bibi say ekukọ okoso no the investigation no epie na a result say nipa bi na sabotage and na say unipa na say the kind de one can da really say sabotage but ne some kan nyina wo samu apa na say bia say yam pase nipa bi na ehye akira na say safo no ma so ebe ehye o se aban no agi atum aban no admit say said the etie na say womutimi eye nsiesie but maybe bia me challenge kakra ne say sa akọ question na my minim say bia beba ye time ni so ye ntimi nto aso say enyinam nkane no egina na nan so eye middle part of 2025 eba no enyinam kane ani gina na so pa ana ye face challenges enti se ne no abasa yes sa transformers a so be catch them say transformers na yes sa enti ama nationwide ye face challenger me ebeye difficult for me to understand because infidie ben na man kane ani gina so ayebo NDC abaso se enkane no ejina ne nan so no it is a ye change I admit it is a yesesa eye infidie ni bi but the fact of the matter me the amadwen ye me and it say coming from the layman point of view no infidie a man kane ani gina so a 1 year kura mai 1 year mai say yes infidie na che ebia edada na ye besesa said obobo so na adenta na ke kwa adenta for yes some video eti mobile experience eye power outages mu wi anaka said o ka so moba obo osu ana obo adenta osu obobo mia ni bi wo mo so ne aba mo ya ye wodo me kwa benya do me kwa benya edrum ha eti mo so ye besesa mu video ni so you will be experiencing the power outages na ya mu say okay do me kwa benya ebia and the next 3 weeks no anopa bia kane abedum eti enwumre na o maso amayen ade eche no abebetu adwuma no so enwumre na ka o maso amayen na minim say bia sa na ebeye because per explanation na minister dia maye na awie no ememi hu say ye ne sa na ka be proper minim say if I'm making a point because say all of a sudden yes ye changing the whole Ghana ni nyina nkane ni dundundundum sa wamrekwa nkane ni gina aso afe 1 year mi ba fidie etimi ma nkane ni gina aso no sa wo ka chem say less than 1 year asaya to the extreme say ye besesa no a me nshada anti ase ehwo no explanation na mayie nti I don't know nyame adoma sese minister gusu kasa subsequently no your programs no ye nyampanfo ye bebisa wo mo na wo metima kire mu yie ama said ya mema adwen ye mo sa na megiri se Ghana di bi nso adwen be ye no na yetimi anya sa ho no proper understanding because me ka general sa ye bo aban na baso because aban na ba afoforo no na nkane anu dundundundum kakra na no nye den sei etiama MPP for kwa opposition immediately kan sa don't go for ye ka so mba dum so beba but luckily for us kane anu be gina na so pa be ya busumi si ade na kane anu gina na so last year no eti ede na kane ni gina na so ho no sabre nsa na mfidie na na wo ho eti ho no na me pese menya clarity bi bia na na me kan me engineering eye bia na mfidie na timi ya adwuma drew level bia all of a sudden they say timi change ni nyina bom aha eti ho na me a bit challenge but anyway minister no we explaining no ama e dia mai ye ka say abena tena say na Richard Zuma from UP ono so atena abena e NDC abena so ewa ha ye ba bedi enkomo Abra my head to say
Nyamina dumu yo na awre.
Yeah, nyakopa do nyamia do bako. Good. And Richard is one. Richard. Richard they say
Nyamiti o ye ho show na high kakra. Better job and day.
And I do so the na kwa kwa
show the na no me demu be eat out me fu say agro. Adia chi na me say asem no anya better. Anya better but we be fa ne say o kan say kran en ko se hwe enye na ye abem.
The book say o kan en ko se hwe enye no kre.
Oh, you see, the fact of the matter remains, say, Ghana, no, you see, our leader, he said, you're kind, they are giving us all manner of reasons, okay? But you see, most of the time, no, we can talk, we can say all the things, okay? I raise all the agitations and all these things, but Bronumaker said it's incumbent upon them, said they will act upon some of the things we are agitating about and make sure, say, they rectify situation. But you realize that sometimes we say things, but what they intend to do at the long run. So that's why I'm drawing that conclusion. Is that we've been talking, but as to whether our talking is making significant impact, it will give the justification for them to change their mindset. I doubt it, but he said, based on the work you do, the seat you sit in there, we have no option than to keep talking. Democracy. Obviously, ABR, one day they may hear us. So I think if you go into the substantive issue now, I'll have my own.
Substantive issue, but Abrana ko wa bemo. Enti Ebi.
Yeah.
Na minister ne wakasa. Ye nyina enim said yankane ndundum na enye obi ade. Enye obi ade. Ye no ma ye de nkane aye adwuma. Ebe se wo rane te se prepaid wo ton nkane abi de ma manfo a ana no go offer. You can't work. Obetina wa je kan na anaba iti ade no no de oba beton no to de akwa kogun won so awoton no so aboka ote ho enti wo hwe barbers wo hwe woman welders kan na duma affected world na affected because what the kan be ko obedu won kan na dum e de na o de be ye o kan ho adwuma e de ama wo e bia na kan no so de kwa kwatwa business bio na so akwa kwa bi enti kan na dum ya ade bi a enye obi ade enye obi afe inti Minister Babachrim. So far, Abra, one of more.
Mark, me das pa na ma memfa ncha kese ma wetie fu na washo.
Etie for Joseph. Now also constituency do me kwa benya.
Do me kwa benya inyo.
Anti wo fa he.
Baby ameta.
Yeah.
Baby ameta zemo kwa benya.
Kwa benya. Oh sir.
Intimate constituency ni mu. Onye dey bia me constituency nkoto wa baby ameta.
Baby achesa woti ankasa. I mean if that. Say me so kwa me back kra nyina kwa na me wo.
Oh wow. And it's a very nice place.
Kukobu a me ye nyina e wa na esi.
A very nice place, very peaceful
Me go baby a.
And one of these days ye be share.
12 unit mansion or catch yourself Kukobu. 12 bedroom house. I am Zina Jerry. I could now transfer.
Nakabana Kamawari 5. I'm here to pass.
That's just 5 bedroom. To 5 bedroom. Now, for the honest,
one woman, one wife, one bedroom.
This is just by the way. Nah, Macmefa in check as my mommy obo be a dark koye administrator of Ghana Medical Trust Fund. The master na memfa in check say memfa ma Honorable Benjamin Danso. Or by incoming Greater Accra Regional Chairman. Baby, I will be no. Within check as Sazama, Yeneman Penny, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, where Jumazana, horrible. Now, what's the can, Medas a power question may be summoned. Now, light a dundumnaze, on Yaza will be a pet, being it there, a power, a opposition, or but lights no do my yen yet one cadebiana. And this Fuyanzi or lights, name people one lights, or yen no Kenyan. And now, one sooner, was the Jumanka Sankas, it's hospital, police stations. On a mark that no idea, yes, because hospital day, yen there, or a light and will use that was it, won't be beer. One away your frozen food seen as in light and will use. Na miss man Erica there, 1 prepaid, one auto prepaid no so no on so light and we use but on ye aza makade oye nyi de ho a aban waye den waye but oye asam na waba but just that waba aboto NDC so bakado oye NDC fu na yaye den yes aba but ni nyina no onye dam na ote but moye mede wo mu panyi de His Excellency John Dramani Mahama we tum wa so issue o started do we tum wa so na wa ma ne minister no we tum wa ma put nzema in place enwu danka kanene mpanka ye baka danka issue be nyina no nke ye hu minister po baby owo but ye de nyame ase because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama all power na zin na buteye ya was be ye reset
ana minister so no dwane kwota baby
na make the bo mpa entenanka Bebo in the incident no record but today bia mozi mean eyina no po ai den wa abade bi onye bakasa but yen NDC yen ye party bia ye dwenti memufo no won ho ye dwene obia no ho nti nzema bi de no rekwa ye sure ena His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no onye hwa ha mfa ye yu oba prompt no wa ka cho de nzema de no moti de nti memufo no ye den wo complaint de no ye den orukọ no etuma ye den asoro aye Inti no Mark, mesma na imbia be ya na ete minister. When the minister wa kamo wom, no ya zo edo ye bua payo de ya hyeda de ye reye. Inti no wo ma ye nhwe nyim kakra na ma wa ye easy. O mu there or your big problem, but definitely things will resolve and we will bounce back to where we were because in the ways are a big challenge pa. But you ma ye nyina ye nka ye na akoma front to ye na mobe bia say ministers in there on to me share and they be a week you but to resolve yes it's way nurture the kind of leadership yen NDC yewo because ye can on yaza ye beka de ye ka aza onye no korwom ye mama timemu nyine wenhu de nzema de no rokodo amatimemu ne ta wenhu de oh man kasa ni minister na de moze yi no kwampa leader na kasa na abanyuma abakasa masisi anama akoma to me minti ma mark makanye de wo me yenya botane yen hwe mobile because it was within this week but on to me nche but definitely things will fall in place and in order medasio
also medase mamema Benjamin Asare Akwaba member of the MPP communication team Ben it's say
Yami adome hoyo na onso
Yami adombo okay Richard
yes sir
mamema also where minister New Year or the Amayan.
Yo, rapping Mark Jerry, Mammy Faquina, we Sinami Chiao, Namachia, production crew in Namachia, Miami colleagues are Masansha, Omo, Eviawe, or Nit FM so. Now, Mammy Fa and Chaka see Edima, Nanaya, Adobia, Sikapa, the Queen Mother of Jekiti of Ramasi. Also now the president and founder of the Nana Adobia Sikapa Foundation, a charity foundation. We are doing back to school. Nyama we are causing they are doing a lot of charity work all over the eastern region there. And Tibia Obiano, yeah, Damwasine Juma Muyama and Kolanomo. Well, you see, I am tempted to be mindful of my speech and now Kasabia mi babeka ewiawe ewa platform no so. Because ya nye careful la. Ya nye careful la. Ye be hippie blame and responsibility on just one particular government. And it is just unfortunate that anytime NDC comes to power, maybe sometimes our power situation try to get out of hand. In as much as NPP address with the 8 years of their leadership, we had power outages. So sporadic power outages in Ekosu. But maybe the magnitude at which you're experiencing within these few weeks, perhaps we didn't get there that much because normally, light cut off for Accra, then it is Accra issue. But in this instance, light can go off in Accra, go off in Volta, go off in Kumasi, go off in all the major cities at the same time. And even in Accra, most of the Crumbling say, yeah, Odoko enclave na cut off, IBM transformer na cut off, I cut off. All other jurisdictions have light, but in this case, Ube will say light off in your area somewhere around Aplaku, Ube Frobi or Domi, and also only light, Ube Frobi or Madina, or Simini light. So realize that a widespread. Now, Ofajari, Debi Amika say, Ghana's electricity problem is a systemic failure. government upon governments have come, but you need focus, you need vision, you need industrial. We said within the next 10 years of our life as a country, this and this and this are the steps we need to take. Either government, be it NPP, NDC, because so far, opportunity need to governance. UP has not governed the country before. No other party has done so apart from CPP, NEP, and PNC back in the days. But this current dispensation since 1992, it has been NPP and NDC. So if there is any blame about power generation, transmission, distribution, collection of revenue, paying of independent power producers, maintaining the Akosombo Dam, maintaining Ebui Dam, expanding solar, expanding wind energy, expanding biogas, and aggregate all of them into your energy mix there. It is not NDC's problem. Now, we were in this country. Apart from Akosombo giving us power, it was Abuasi thermal plant and Rollins Edikan. Yedun Pempen Sobi Kufosu Bayanu. We realize that as a manu, our demand for power is more than supply. Now, we also were embarking on rural electrification project because Yenim said there are some villages in this country, they all need light because they are all citizens and they must benefit from light to grow their small business, like you alluded to say. Barbers, hairdressers, electricians, using light are basically the informal sector people, and then a few industries that we have there. Now we got to a stage where Kufuor realized, Akosombo had a problem because the rains were not falling. What did he do? He mobilized Asafo force yanko Akosombo na ko bon pai say nso ento gu dam no mu. Omo ko bon pai nso na ento dam no anyeye. Ye wo mu and other generators by generators nusu anyeye. So we know very well say a track knowledge, a public knowledge say it is not an NDC issue. So when it started from Kufuor, any generator, 12 generators no buy and to me a resolve the problem no. Professor Mills era, we still had power outages. And from Professor Mills era, and almost 30 years, say yet to me depending largely on hydro there. In the year expanding our thermal generation. Obian himself thermal there, it comes with cost. Yen for onuntun chain. So, yen do President Mahama time in 2016 thereabout, it became so very worse. So very worse. And now, yebe coining this term called doomsday because we didn't have sufficient power to supply for us to even consume in our homes and our industries. And after the see then now we raise our hands in despair and say that you know what, we have to ration the little power we are having. Now obiantimi the NJB and after na power no starting yanu like the way I thought akpeteshi waba yanu con 130 here 130 there 130 there. We did this 130 yeah and anyamin child here the tail end of JM's exiting and I ebeti yes and now we have been able to solve one leg of our problem, which is what we call generation of the power, sufficient generation of power. We solved that one leg. Nobody, not even NPP, nobody can tell me that before Mahama exited government, and now NDC exited government in 2016, they never solved one leg of the problem, which is generation of the power. To the extent that when the Nanado led government took over, it became a cry. My say, signing too many contracts with power producers to the extent that we are having more power than we need. Offer. After the assassination, say you're receiving more power than we need. Why didn't the other government look at one major issue of distribution? So now the other government didn't do anything about distribution. And now yakos and then Umafra Abemu for 8 years, they cannot tell us what exactly they did for the power sector. What exactly they did, a kana edaho and send amube to yenu. Did they pay all the debt or they added onto the debt? And we all know that they are added to the debt. So as a nationalistic person, kasa from a national perspective there. Now NDC is telling us, they are changing transformers. And I will want to side with McJerry. So if you are changing transformers, why can't you do the changing of transformers based on region by region? So this time round, for the next 1 month, we are changing all the obsolete transformers in Volta region. Then the people of Volta region will know say, yeah, you better break akra, but maybe within 6 months no, you promise you say you better replace your transformers ni nyina. The transmission cables ni nyina be a problem one hu nyina you better replace ni nyina. Technical issue be a hobby you better replace ni nyina. Then you move from Volta region, you go to another region. But it is difficult for me to now to understand why will ECG be changing transformers from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Transformers bank na yesisa from 1 a.m. ahumachi ekopim 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Is the NDC practicing the 24-hour economy because they want to transform the country's power distribution and to apply the 24-hour economy in HSA 24 hours ni nyina no almost is transformers ana. I am tempted to believe that there is something the government is not telling us. In as much as I support the government, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm still insisting that there is something they are not telling us. Because if they are telling us the reality, why should we all in this country, 60 regions, be experiencing the same power outages simultaneously at the same time? You see, the 2,500 transformers now. I am expecting an audit report by now, an audit report from ECG. HSI Greater Accra, we have over 1,000 obsolete transformers that we need to change. I want to have an audit report about Ashanti region. I want the ECG to give us an audit report. In Greater Accra, transformers no more 1,000. You realize it's 500 obsolete and these are the time period that the best is our transformers no, so that we the citizens can know say between this time and that time no, we are doing changing of transformers. But if you are not telling us anything, anytime there is a problem, the my justification of the mind and you say I am changing transformers. Well, you cannot be changing transformers in perpetuity. And to the benefit of the doubt. Me that darkness me there. Me da ashima enya me de uda ashima nema bebre ho enya de obetumi aye biom over majari uda ashima enya de ma bebre ho ometumi ye unema bebre ho tumi ye unjiri prati unchenkra na shi do too much ejuma no kra confusion about ejuma no kra wo ya amfifre no doors to the extent say untumi tini de
and also experience esa utro book me yesu
eya critical critical aspect.
Which one book in Israel?
If you free and people are suffering, businesses are suffering, marriages are suffering.
Okay.
So yeah, can say yeah, my NDC the benefit of the doubt, but I am suspecting, though they are not talking about fuel issue of Jerry. Only says Iran issue, you know. I am tempted to believe that the HFOs, those high fuel oils now you use it to power the thermal plants. No, I'm tempted to believe that we are not getting sufficient. I am tempted to believe say there is a technical issue. To crown it all, I Ghana for way there, Miss Ramu, and your NDC problem. You see Gridco, Akosombo Diano, Eja Tomu. Ejana Tomu now say Akosombo Dam in its entirety is not giving us any power again.
Yeah.
So Ghana for where there Miss Ramu, Mama move from your politics. The moment Akosombo is off the grid required, that means we may have issue of we may have deficiency. In supply. So government should also admit to the citizens say Akosombo there is a problem, and I'm hearing say Jinakwa is saying Akosombo may take a lot of time for those issues to be resolved. So if Akosombo is going to take maybe 1 month, 2 months, and say Yatumia resolve Akosombo issue now, then are we not going to remain in this darkness until the next 3-4 months?
Ashanti region, so I say Python be Python too. Way in home.
Na Python. No, they cannot give that frivolous excuse. Say Python into the whole of Ashanti region cannot get power. And then Python or swallow energy na eba na say dey. Python or energy na dey.
Bad leadership the way lead today.
No, Python has gone into Python has gone to hide in your transformer. What has that got to do with power?
Yeah. Abandon don't know when I know ye MPP no. No one compo no one conquer.
MPP after been over 1 year. Who told you say Python no when Akufo-Addo was there?
Python no on man say yeah ba.
But Saturday we say baby some you. Python or ye abo or ye insulative and I'm can't enter me anymore.
I think so because if you're mosquito, but I had receiving cobra. I had receiving cobra.
Okay.
But you see, my challenge with the issue is that the cobra there or the python there is not the reason why the people of Ashanti region are not getting power. Because the cobra is not swallowing the power that is coming to Ashanti region. That means there is a technical problem. So the I can say we should not make it a political issue. We should make it a national issue. Now I am far dream now who say unless we widen our scope of generating so much power from solar, unless we widen our scope of generation from wind energy, unless we widen our scope from biogas of our Magjari, we will still come back to this problem. So, if at the end of the day, now Aban we see, they are trying to resolve the problem. I am not blaming them. I'm ready to give them the patience. I'm ready to give them all the time in this world to fix the problem because they fix the generation problem. So if they say they want to fix the distribution problem, I will not doubt it. But my point is that they should do it systematically so that obiabe to me planning a life, obiabe to me share, obiabe to me say this region we are having this issue. But if you tell me you want to change 2,500 transformers and there is no audit report of Ajari, if you ask any ECG boss or China, Bisamu, this question, Mami said, is there any audit report, public audit report? HSA, all the I don't know. I'm sure we even have 2,500 transformers across the country.
But say you bisa PUR so obekaya NPP time one ma beka kire say transformers be overloaded.
Yes.
We counted tens of thousands of transformers. ATPUR for the to also said there be one more inspect it. One more come say Saturday night sir.
So we need an audit report.
They are and they know they are what can I agree with you 100% because me makawa and one SSC akwana making.
You need audit report.
Say ye change transformers be a transformers be na ye changing tia. It is to affect the whole nation. One require work ya denta. Now why denta me amete typha dem dey ba. Ma denta for Ghana ndundum. Wo bia mo nyira mo
that requires planning. Planning.
Who be change. Me akwa say yen kan ya be.
Planning. So if and now see who got dismiss obi from ECG positions or your boss or ECG on ye lejuma here. On what grounds now they dismissing you? I am looking forward for a report, an audit report. I am challenging the Minister of Energy to provide us with an audited report. HSA, the whole 60 region of Ghana, there were 10,000 transformers. Out of the 10,000 transformers, this quantum, they are constantly overloading. This quantum, there were technical problem. This quantum, pythons are causing until we need to do what? Remove the pythons. So that report to give us a fair idea say 10 and a python womudia. Yeah, then I call you python mama microphone should get power. But if the 10 we are able to remove the python and at the same time we are having challenges, now we know that it is not the python which is sucking the power, but it's our inability to supply power to the people of Ashanti region. So a very sensitive, delicate national issue, and we must not politicize it. I am challenging the Minister of Energy to give us an audited report so that we can know the quantum of transformers that have technical problems, for which reason they are fixing it. And you cannot tell me you are solving a problem from engineering perspective and you cannot give us a timeline. You cannot give us a timeline.
Okay.
And to you from Majari, this issue, it needs more attention and we must all not let it pass because we are suffering, our wives are suffering, our businesses are suffering, we ourselves too, we are suffering.
Jacob Zuma, Jacob, hey,
Richard, Jacob Zuma, the only me call South Africa. Me cause xenophobia for you. Titi say Panasonic TV.
South Africa.
Say xenophobia meeting. Titi say Panasonic TV.
Richard Zuma, yes. UP. Yeah, one more. Deputy General. We are Deputy General Secretary.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Edema, United Party. Benjamin.
Richard.
Asare.
Also, Richard.
Wait, Tantra Hills, dear. Some what Tantra Hills, Anna?
Your side. 1 week in here.
Yes, one day dundu. Yes, taifa ye brena. Yes, tantra so mo brena.
Mark,
Ben ni tantra o.
Menchia also.
Don't let Ben speak for tantra.
Ehwa na mete tantra go dindo. Ehwa na mete. Ehwa nyina ye tantra. Tantra e kwa akosi sportem. Ehwa na ye no.
Oh, okay.
Mark menchia o.
Yeah.
Menchia minuan mo am no mo ha especially abra. Mete mi hu na che. Ahon fefo.
Always ladies have advantage. Especially also the special account.
Na ho fe ni buli katra.
Na wo na fante no.
Ya ba yes no ya omra this side. Ya me man ye nko this side.
O she so bad.
Or hurry it too much.
O want me to mean kasa.
Menchia etiefo ne ahwefo a agebre anopai na awie no mutie ye. Say in fact asem we ya ba na ya asem bia Senior Richard start or kan no I'm trying to say I will not attach emotions to it because say me yepe asem we be si wa ha na enye papa
no asem yes
Mark
yes
Ghana ha na say President Mahama me I'm tempted to believe say Yabonidua he has been cursed about electricity dundum so ho nsemo ayeka senye dua bone ya bona na kire se waye bibia eso otu ahoka na asotwen no about this time anytime bia Ira John Dramani Mahama ebeba bidia de bia no this problem ya de aye face wo mamu a adenti no no nko na anytime bia oba with this explanation
power supply no maybe because secondary school
with this period
of suffered
doom so na yekom no obia komu bi obia ni wonom a administrating bia ni wonom e ba ya nya doom so 1 or 2 ba ye hwe ne kase mu de we a Ghana fo anka setimi sofa when it comes to
the 4 months people it's a 4 months
mama nka sem so
4 months
John Jinaponi NDC for ntro no mu di no ya mentie me no wo kasa sesi say power ye generate wo Ghana ha nyina e 5615 and ye generate asoman ni ye nya wo mamu ha ni ye use wo mamu ha ye 3920 megawatts 3920 megawatts ni ye use no so we here no free one actually Essex eka no 1620 megawatts eka minia Richard eka says I am fan say akosomo ahye akosomo hia akosomo power e de maye anasa megawatt ayenya wakosomo no 1020 megawatts ni akosomo de maye no 1020 megawatts na akosomo de maye enti am fan say akosomo stop it so what ni nyina free mu a Ghana SSI ye use edaho a ye use 1066 Ghana cedi megawatts 1666
when all things are being equal bibia ye adwuma yie obetima nya power no
bibia ye wo me no ka say bibia ye wo a megawatts no wo ho sesi a ye ka say up to March 5615 let's establish that fact say na ye wo we are no free one more. Near ye use wo mamu ha. 3920 megawatts. All things be equal. It is ye problem wo mukura na. Near ye ton de kwama no ne. 300 megawatts. Near wo mamu ha ye ton de kwama no ne no. 300 megawatts. It is ye yini nyina free mu a. Ye wo excess of 1363 megawatts. And the one more ye use. Sana electricity mayeti ase uko website says ya ewo ho eda ho bom enti se wo yi nyina afiri mu a ya 1363 megawatt ye nyusu eno da ho in case of problems bi ba eno ne ye dey adjust e ma Ghana for ye ho toye enti se wo yi akoso modia na ahye ni free mu a na se wo de 1363 megawatt no wo de kwa kwenche akoso modie na still I 363 megawatt power ye nyusu so it's not about generators problem and yes akoso mo problem because they don't have money to generate the to plant make sure say generators and the power when adwuma about money am tro no mu di kire ye because ni nyina echi wo de kwa kwasha akosomo me pato akosomo enhye ye na dum so start ye
na started that
nti ya de na sese akosomo ase na ya de ba be hye akosomo say no because of that nti na dum so no ye experience
Benjamin, you should also know and say ye nyina ye gitum say na dum so no wo ho ansa na akosomo gyan ba betom ba betom no eye west
eno na make a choose
so ye hu say eye west
me pacho
dum kwa chire pa
asem ya me ne wo kan eye simple me say before na akosomo me hye ye no na dum so no wo ho ni ye experience ye ka ho asem a omo ama me kan jire say den time no kra no omo sesa transformers o omo anka because ye wo mu a transformer ho sesa last week ya no be ka kire say transformers ni bia ye week
2 weeks ago
yes almost sesa transformer but from
anya 2 weeks ago there be one kind jo ebro
the issue ni be raise concern there identify any issue the issue mo o fe be nyina ye transformer na yes
you are right ebro sa wa maboy amane dada
ben na me think the APP for na wo ho no me wa
dem nya boche wa maboy amane ma confirm yenko anim
enti no satam na yes generators no na ye experience transformers no ni ye experience dum so ansa na sa ne mani nyina eba ena modi akosomu aba be wuram sesi aba ye pese ye kire say akosomu power na de maye no in as much as ye lose no e wo effect wo ye so no sa wo hwe capacity of megawatt ye generate wo mamu anoma eni kwa se ke affect ye bebre sa wo de no compare de eni kwa se ke bam because akosomu ye 1020 megawatts na say ye excess wo hono a ye nyusu ye 1363 megawatts den ye ko problem mu sei medwe ho amenti ase enti se bibie ekoso kama me say eye bi enti na mka kire o say aye say ye wura John Dramani Mahama anytime bi obeba amamom bia no ono no confront such problems because say ya so train ye de ma no ade na odi de bia ba na omo my excuse Richard dey start also we nya MPP NDC and so what start no asabu say MPP for nche how many megawatt ye de car power
I didn't say so. What specifically did they do as their contribution to the sustainability of our energy sector?
Okay. Yeah, 7 years na do be 8 years 7 years ye nya power outage bia to say yenya be say 3-4 days and now 1 week. I started from 2024.
But no crowd woman is say MPP buy any there. Serious outages the latter part.
Yes, 2024.
That is right.
So 7 years of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo administration. Yenya this canker ya about beto yesu say. Problem next starting 2024. Yes.
Enjoy. NDC ya resolve yansi ye the year competition no power no be enjoy yansi ye
yeah na so
be na na FM boy gusi FM be ya megawatt what time na light no ko off be be megawatt one ya megawatt one ba me analysis bia wa hade the inda ba be analysis
but what I'll come back to you master so megawatt megawatt now we go na
megawatts because they are not being truthful to us. They are not being truthful to Ghanaians. Omo mane luku say because of akosomo na ase no ama ye peak demand na ye hia wo mamu ha no ye nya problem which is not true. Ye nya problem bia.
Ye work says so but that transmission issues were better than transmission.
So when necessary we yes adwuma na ya me am we opposition na buy. The board is in your court. The power is in your hands. If you are having any challenge when it comes to electricity or energy sector, fix it. Fix it. Not just answer now. Who catch there? Who catch there? Say your person enya. Hold on. Who person enya? Mark. Pato. Omo LG ya 1 cedi ne. They asem no omo catch there.
Power ya.
Omo see you benya stable light. Enti afia the 1 cedi ya jetua.
You go suit ya.
1 Ghana cedi of every liter bia ya beto wo mamu ana yetua ne ya jetua. We are president by within 1 year, 6 months. No, what to electricity tariff remove by 28.6%. Ningina choose 1 Ghana cedis. So we make sure say you benya stable light. ni nyina mu no enne de o ba be ka kire say generators are yesesa wo transformers are yesesa wo Ghana ha no yesesa ne systematic ba bia Ghana nyina yesesa bom yesesa Kumasi de a ni yesesa Accra de the same time it is a light no call off Accra ese Kumasi so call off. What kind of excuse is that? Adia na won hwe say wo be solve Kumasi problem na wie na won fa load ne ma ye this side who we are now call other region no akwa say wo to wani a the whole Ghana na dum so ye koka afi na mo ba be chire mo abeka brofo akese John Jinapo wo opposition no say nyansa ye de ehwe energy sector nyina wono na nanim enere so wo twebo no bo nsam trafo gyina nanim a Ghana for they should have mercy nya dia mercy who the generator what so plant o man o yire mo enjoy wo fie ye da sumu no eno ansa wakọ clock na o generator ye adwuma na fine ball ho AC ball ho ye nya bi ye kan wasam azi ye nya botre Jubilee House ye dum light o when the catch say ministers ni fie ye dum light o na o mo catch ye say ye nya botre ye da kiosum e da singing room a ye nya light ne didi adwuma ye barbering shop ye hairdresser ye seamstress wo obetimi akachire say ye nya botre enjoy no till when they should fix the problem. Now, omunya say, afen no mo ba be ma excuse. Now asa be ka kire say MPP what power ye dey. Ghana for say power na mo say energy sector ye ntimi manage no. Ghana for say mo nsemo amode to Ghana for anim no. You people have what it takes to manage the energy sector for Ghanaians. And nothing no mo to abama. So you don't have any excuse to make sure say obema Ghana for what to homo and no ni expect from here we are John Dramani Mahama ne NDC aban omo hwe no omo ni hu dwuma but ma omo meye krokro de John me kan tell say say no ye megawatt no because of akotomo no eso ate eso ntimente they should go and find money no omo make sure say omo ye ne ese so omo ya ye benya light na sa excuses no enya de Ghana for aye omo adwen so omo befa enti minua enya de a ye megawatt ye wo krom ana eso ate eso nte 300 megawatt ye de ko outside no de kokra na still ye wo 363 megawatt eno ne ye surplus e da ho a ye nyusu eti ye po mo chew Ghana fo aho kire o mo kom wodum so ho no enya asam ketewa o amanfo a ye wia o mo because of dum so enkwala yare because of dum so me ne wo ka say wo fie na wo to dem a e problem ubie to wona wo famu dan so a problem it is a problem a ye komu no it is say ye call covid mu wo Ghana ha dum so no ene covid wo yi bibia free mu enye yie because they say no ya restricting your movement restricting your plans ye intimate plan how are you be manage your fie ye intimate plan how enra unua da che hina wo new FM e ni TV ene ni fridge ene ni air condition at the same time ni nyina bro ye ni nyina blow at once obeden when you skasa akoto sa na ma we miense nyina na ye ka John Jirapo abeka kire say ye nya abotre mo e di abotre sata mo na do ka danko akufu ado te so 2024 ye started say ye experience e den na John Jirapo anka okromu a on radio station to radio station and watch the problem no any solutions are oba wo de beba say na ye so na homa president Mahama wa so na re wo huzu wa feli John Jirapo and other two ministers bia na wo mo kasa kiki radio station TV station to TV station ya ma wo mo position no wo mo twefo wo mo say wo mo nim hwe enti yes president so wo pro bi ama na manage energy sector na wo pro bi foforo na ye wura
menya comfortable so be ka tro bi so nim hwe
onti me manage sector no nti eno no menka ne say wo de o ma me different way metimi
aka trese bia ne modern bo no enso ani
nti eno no
trese bia ne modern bo no
ne modern mo enso ani wo energy sector ho no mebo nti eno no me ka say onim hwe fa ho eno no
onim hwe obe eto onye hwe eti bia do aye na enso we ni den
oba ye wanya hwe den wa ye
na ye den na kan ye
sika no aba beji afri ye ho no de manage na when so ma miska when no eno nam say wa beji ye sika why now man is gas one for manage energy sector na won timenye oba ya wa beji ye 11 Ghana cedi ya to every liter be fuel it always can ka won fit ka be dey oba ya so beji 28% of increment na ka ba ya na ya ji sika na gu o ma do so puo no ka won fan fix o be dey say we hu say sika na o mo twen ya o mo de ko no nye ni nyina na ko energy sector because baby e wo sesi ano sika ni bi wo ho no a loopholes aba be di dem nti onye sika ni nyina enso ontimi nka finance minister will release sika ni mo e wo ne ho akoka ato is forcing ukoka o sector ho wa wura unya 1 cedi kura na 4 years aso enu omo to honum no omo bo Ghana chaskeling enu omo de ye di agro na Ghana for ko problem no na president ba no ebegina na do danko akufu ado be ka kire so yedum so siesie omo de ye nwom wa ha omo de ye nwom sami jamfi ene Sam George mo say president na ankasa no wada ni nyansa so enti wonim hwe when it comes to energy sector management wonim hwe sa no omo ka kire ye wura akufu ado ene de eba wo ho no o ka kire ye say ye nya abotre ma wo abotre ne ye nya nkosi dabai they should fix it because Ghana for bre enya de a ye benya abotre ma ye wura John Dramani mama enough is enough wa baby pen and when it comes to solving energy sector now I say one it should be on its fingertips obetimi solving a simple and ya fe no obedu president wo mamu ha enti ade bia for energy sector wo bia sa John Jirapo ya odi minister no ya deputy minister no ono wo ho no e de support amakofi bu ane ye wura ba ku ye otwamu a mere afinidin no ono na ye deputy or deputy wo mo a ono wo mo ye adwuma ana na ye di dwumadie ne kase na anka se chonsa oba ya na obetwa antro kire ye se electricity containers ye free airport 3000 ayira eno no si ye huru ye si ye hu John Jirapo ntimi a mekire mu ankire ye nti oba bia na mo abeto mo abeka bibia to mo ama aban na watwa mu na luku bad asa ne ye wura na do danko akufu ado ne na ban yade omo ye bibi bone kase e wo energy sector and now buy now be play politics war on say na the reality has catch up with you I catch up with John Jirapo sika na so onya no the power plant no power na yenya light enya about transformer bia e dey transformer wo ba me area ho no a transformer wo de buy almost be say 3 months ni o mbe sesa ho de ya sesa transformer na e wo ye tantra your friend say golden door ya sesa and so still ye dadum so mu enti afa no ni o mo be sesa ye no o mo say ba be sesa bie mu ana baby aduro na nya hodro so kura o Ghana fo ani brabre no adum so na omo de bocha skele di Ghana fo ho agro sa no omo ani abrankasa they should find ways and means and fix their problems no munya sa blame game na omo pusi to ana na do danko akufu ado anya no ye anya na mo atu ye ko enti woni ye do waba ne wo ye bia ye comparison na twam se kuanim na ye Ghana fo se wo kuanim na ye kuanim enya fe na wo be compare na do ene ye wura John Dramani mahama esa emfa mismatch kuanim
meda so ho na abana na baby o very bad before we move
na me beda or ka say no say when do start no I say His Excellency John Dramani mahama ye or ye cursed but nanka ye kada obi or ye cursed da nanka ye His Excellency John Dramani His Excellency John Dramani or ye righteous man no and you can say be our Canada when righteous rule the people rejoice and Ghanaians are rejoicing into me pedo or chisando kada His Excellency John Dramani mahama lights now off that's why a cursed man na His Excellency John Dramani mahama on your cursed into that may is a mark or there catch no chisando me that's
it so what you answer
okay
kabi on say say ka gu microphone
curse na me kan no matwe asai
mate
inu aba no ayo
okay my okay pa
okay neat 100.9
Richard come inside
for Mark, you know this issue of power outages they be I know Ben is somebody who or Kasa
and then electricity for bad
or Kasa ya me person me hear rebatters be brain but you see
we are 27th April 2026 power outage due to a faulty Ingridco's network. The Electricity Company of Ghana, Ashanti South, wishes to inform our cherished customers and the general public in the underlisted areas that the outage being experienced is as a result of a fault in Gridco's Dunkwao bulk supply point that serves your communities. Affected areas Adamso, Apunyase, Kubi, Ayamfuri, Domenase, Abra, Bremai, Chechere, Esikuma, and Dunkwao, and surrounding areas. ECG wishes to assure affected consumers that our engineers are standing by to restore supply. When Gridco is done with its repairs, ECG regrets the inconvenience caused to the affected customers. And they are
27th.
Another 27th and so on. The electricity will see power outage due to a fire outbreak at Gridco Akosomo substation. The Electricity Company of Ghana wishes to inform our cherished customers and the general public in the Volta and Oti regions that due to the fire outbreak at Gridco substation at Akosomo, which has reduced power supply to the Volta and Oti region, Oti regions, power supply will be curtailed in the underlisted areas from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. today, 27th April 2026. Customers should please note that immediately Gridco rectifies the situation, power supply will be restored. Affected areas, Toko, Spako, Kopeya, Doje, Avi Towns, Nogopo na mugodo ankane.
I heard the nanum dia so mu here light. Nanum dia. Nanum am the light here. Nanum do mu here light. Nanum do mu here light. Mark ba. They see in the dark. Nanum they see in the dark.
Ene di obo kwa kodum lo so wa kukudro pa o.
Agbeso me. Je gabe even grown also do pa. It when the power no go pon ni na won bi. And another one so near. Where's there? When so say power outage due to a fire outbreak, where a customer stop station, that is it not the same thing? When so different. And then I don't release your gumpa. And when so abakomade, part of a buakwa, part of Tano so, Fumeswa, Kwamo, it's one na cannot be to do me chrome job in Kawana because baby of the name does a being grabbing. It's no some the baby shimwa ha.
Dansuma.
And a dansuma dear so ha. It's one so you say power outage due to technical challenge at Dansuma. The Electricity Company of Ghana Accra West region wishes to inform our cherished customers and the general public in the underlisted areas that the outage being experienced is as a result of technical challenge at Dansuma. Affected areas Sahara Monovia, Tunga down, item 13, bar chart, Tunga Mosque, 5-star down, and surrounding areas. ECD wishes to assure affected customers that engineers are working, but they are working. Can ECD for you? So then they himself say upgrade the near there, but who says somebody will be frafra, and I'll be a amount for so upgrade the name. It's a main name is to say, upgrading na because I'm changing, but way technical way, technical. I said, Nina, boom, passa no.
Mark, you starting a 1 per day. I want to Richard Kade. Now, at least what was I say? Why you be crampon? I won't release the communicating can change. I had it and the one. Without communication, about there.
Many problem about the communication. The problem I want to be challenge in a year. Yeah, say one say technical challenge. And I want say already no more boy am near that. It me say you must be saying it just say me my job to me say me or say me plan my life in a year with the light. So they say o phone na be charge we adwuma no charge in a year. O ko do fie na aye we anwa timi enya backup bi. A me twen say wo mu bedwie. But somebody we be for say technical challenge bi wa because already some you we technical challenge ni ade na ni nyina tima ba boom sa no. So another make a minimum say if I'm making sense.
You are, but then I make a dance. Sisiano no. So I'm
because you say technical challenge wo ho.
Yeah, the power. Sisiano no ebia awat the technical challenge. Obi so nyim do technical challenge.
Yes, so much.
At least so do what to me chirem no ma why there what has there technical challenge.
Okay.
Because in that mean you can say obi ti Ghana ho, but onyim da akoso mbo krampo no ijato ho. Obenyim de jato.
Okay,
it is that can be too. Where draw our attention or watch out there in the Dansuma. one light in bed then obutu mu akọ of it na nyim dey wada me area na etu ba prepare won na emu dey oh sisi anaze light in ye dey onyo nti bibia dey bia dey ye ntama ansa why then light na akọ off e na me mo ya me dey wo mu pa anye dey ewu dey yen NDC abane no yen yaza ye ka dey ye hwe ha won zama bi ho waba yenyim dey technical challenge aba we release the communicate ewu dey as a good leader say it's all about communication. Life here, if something is going on and I say you don't communicate, or the man why you're stranded because they don't know what is going on. Yeah. But once I communicate, which tells you there reset agenda yeah reset baby into Ghana for when you're with farming, baby be okay, amen. Okay, me that say. Well, Nick, sound right tonight. Richard, I got with my
yeah, bet me I'm moving on. Yeah, moving on. Because who can say they but we are giving them the benefit of the doubt.
The maybe say we are say kasabro kasenchie ye can e kire yem paying for. E be see dey na in this side way. Abena just say the book can say dey be ma call Ben. Ben.
Yeah, Mark.
Because ni nyina be premise ni nyina dey akoso. Apologies from Dr. Maria we see. Apology from Honorable Julius Debra or the Sunkra Peso. And
crocodile tears.
I don't know crocodile tears. Mokasa me no ya jo.
I don't know so ofana Mark e dey asem now catch no.
And now
papa penimu I dey arewo. Leadership is not about say.
Dabi obone ni yo age. Guys o ma mentality. Bone no yo e so say papa penimu na bone no so ezi bone yo mu age.
Richard no Benjamin. Where Honorable Julius Debra Honorable Anani Emre pa. No ma share no so and any as team tata ni so me ma ben the pain pint me time no we pray mantam
and na nkasa no
na e dey
chese
abaje gra
Mark Jerry obi edidi panimu atem Ghana fo nyina
obi akasa atwi panyemu
odidi na tem nya so wakasa twi no wakasa twi ni say
na tem didi
well o ka kire obi say o man warning
na so warning dey
o warning nipa no o ka kire say no ya kasantwie keke
kasantwie ende say nya
na wo say ka kire say ampa so ogidi say honhom ko anointed anwosra wono so
e kwa na mu say wankasa yie o say anwa wono so
ne kasa bi o kasa ye bia o kasa di ti aye papa ni bia ne nye
ne post and so na nye right
yes na tese so ne age group bi na kasa what warning
o patch on so
na wan an apology no the ban say Ghana for se man kasa yi a wante
mete
eno ya acho papa say Ghana for se asem na me kan na man kan yi a me patcho sa asem na wo kan ho asem na wo patcho eno ne e chew pa na papa ni ye wura Julius Debra yi obi a me penasem rough NDC mu nyina o ka se menyi nipa miensa me pe o mo asem o ne be dikai because you obi a ne ho dwo o wa ho brase ba bia waduro ene ba bia wabɔ bradu no won kyerɛkyerɛ no ho bia wo bɛkɔ me first encounter me ni meeting o ayi mensa na ye call jogging wie ye na kenka ye to ye no security man for na wo ho na prevent boys ne say ma wa mo man nkyɛ kura o ofiri ho no mo betere mfimfi ho ne boys ne di kenke ne nkyɛ na fish utimi hu say man no or associate no ho with obia irrespective say wabɔ bra na say wo mo bra nti won fa ni position as chief of staff no rehu na manfo na ne medi ya wo kakra wo no ho no say esu na okosu ye ne di adabraka leader de ye mfa su solve problem sa na ama kofi bua ye galam say hu sam ye mu conference am drafo conference no obe page ni ti esu say tam ne enkiafo na wo nso obi akaseti apanimu wa wo sofo na se wanya kwanya na wusu eno na manfo hu ne say ye crocodile tears no because munchi nipa nanim ga no munchi nanim go ka ga na ankasa kasafi wonanum wa yi obi a wo kasa onwene won kasa mfiri ni tirim won kasa mfiri ne yam wonu an ka kire NDC for supporters say moto wona mo kasa munyawe ye mfa chobo mfa ni appointment wonu an kasa ni members kra hwasem a wo ka kire wo mo se mo na mo ye chobo yi omo wo Kumase omo wo Mampon omo wo Tachiman omo wo Cape Coast NDC for eye grassroots members a omo kokko ye adwuma ma party na party mi etimi ba power wo ubenya CEO no wo catch rom say nye chobo ni edidi appointment wa cassette ya ndisi for na sebe omo ni certificate no wa cassette ya obia ya nka ne hwe ene odidi mu a ene ode akofo apostle nyameche eso a ode akoka na asem a Julius Debra akosu yi nti won so wa yes ama Julius Debra su ono so crop president adi o ma na kogina solid mu osu nti say no ni su afiri na ni ase bae na no na manfo hu no say sesese bibi papa bi wo ha woman no ba now no ese kiya yi na di ama chief of staff ne president hu sa asem na omo kan ye no e ya mpa se omo ni woman ne nyadwen nti munyi na di oda so to wo je ne salary oda so te ne office AC bo no e be da na onya kwanya na won sa nka ne ye west class ni we nti yesra no maame na akoka asem de ni problem akwa so ye chief of staff ama obi odi ne birthday 60 years awanya instead say na niji no ama na kosu asori dem edi enti na ese basa efiri okura nti ya menya hen say na ni anyi biem cake no kura wantimi antwa and okura hanki kakra bi anu opepa nanim kakra cha say aye ne ya to the sense say ade enti na wo akodi no sofo pani atem na wo chief of staff wo awusi ya wo say chief of staff wase aka ni 60th birthday wo ma ne ya niji no wa ma na da ni osu papa yin so when it comes to esi edun ketia omo presidential race omo kwa say we hwere di anim kura se esi edun ketia
eno su kra free here eno su free na presidential race and
obayama esi edun ketia for no di su no akwa cassette ya yewura Julius Debra say onye leader no opesu dodo bibia obesu na say ne enkane yin ko no na wazo akwozu Ghana for nya light ya omo kan so ono na ya president ya chese nsu no de be solve problem no sa anya fine ya to electricity mu na se Ghana for kasa obekasa ubesu ma wonye sa na ni nyina kokko begina sa abayo yi a sebe wan mu no a wakoka seti asofopon a ama Julius Debra akwakusu yesre sane papa no kan ye no ono no wode ache awura no going forward no yenhwe ye kasa yie yenhwe kwaya ye befa so a ye ne mpanimfo bekasa emire bi mi ankasa me bro chama abronye koka asem bi aya na me betena ye condemn ye me free studio ha no nsem wa course na nya asem ketwa ba ni kwa se youth na ye ba no amanyo sem wa ye no ye de atem didie ba befrem adenti na onu obi nya adwen a esese wudi na atem me ne Richard wa ha me ne nya adwen na ma Richard anim na ma didi na atem e de entia ma ye mfa atem didie emefrofro ya amanyo sem wa ye yim because at least empanifo na ebi wo hono ansa na ye ba ebinum abobrase ne ye ebinum fie kwanimu se ne ye afa na wo ba enti se wo pese wuduru mpempenso obi ne obi de anidie ni obuo ma wo de a the same thing baby a wo nso aduro no fa nidie ma wo mpanimfo se ne be ya youth na ba no wo nyina nso besua ne ye de anidie ma ye ho me namfofo se me namfofo dodo na NDC fo nko a enti se me ne wo mo nya adwen a me ntimi hwe na anim se me didi na atem nti ye besre woman no de wankasa yie ba se ye trickle ne down ba se a eni kwasa tem didie form bia no ye soso so wo mamu ananim ye se omo di akire no omo sua omo di ka nante wo kina bi no emre bi ni ye si ye no yanka ho hwe nti eno na embo di amanfo ama sese no omo kan west because ye te wo mamu a ye nua Sam George e ka kire Akufo Addo so wo ye useless ye nyi obi amana nka bibia amfa nkire Sam George amane Sam George afa no wadi wasi na nadu dan kwa Akufo Addo ye useless wati ni nyansa so na chese nyansa kura di nyansa na nadu nibi Sam George ene kan fa no di ye yete ha even president John Dramani Mahama ofre Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia so ye stupid ya nkanwe ni ehun ni say ye campaign platform so campaign tree mu ni enam nti obi abetimi afka bibia fa no wadi eno ena embodi amanfo a ene ni eni kwa se wo ka kire sofopon a oba besia a wo wotima wo ye batai sese wo kasa wo dwene ho kakra ekoka asem ne diti a ye papa nti yesre
okay
ye papa de o de ache nti yesre se ye ku ye ni ye ntwe ye hu fratem didi ho
yes of Majari
yes
oda kabrin so yese wo beku
awere
obeko chena yese wo ko chena ye hu ni biem
o sa
last week me ba na breaking news no trem
oko invan
o retirement.
Oh really? Yo, so senior Majari wa high.
I will take you over.
The woman say, though I disagree with politics of insult, but I also disagree with the fact say, yes, see, there are some people ya insulate you from any form of verbal attack. Because the woman said, Maminu Wankasaye were attacking the head of a Pentecostal church. But those who are making the argument to look like he has insulted the man of God, I want them to understand that even Jesus Christ was insulted. Even Jesus Christ, they spat on him. Even Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who brought Christianity, so say oye asofo penyi na heading the church of Pentecost. He should know that he's subject to some of these things. And otie onwakasani kasamo, so he has forgiven the lady. Only lady ni assembia. So I want to tell those who are making the argument, say the pastor shouldn't have been insulted because he's the head of the church of Pentecost. They don't have a case. They don't have a case because Jesus Christ himself, he was insulted. Now, let's go to this issue of Julia Deborah apologizing on behalf of the lady. This is why I agree with Ben. Said we must learn to crack the whip. Who know your chief of staff? All these body are under you. And to say such caliber of people, not they are government appointee because only so a code of conduct. Say you are developing code of conduct. If the code of conduct is that you can go and say all manner of unnecessary things, the engineer say go and apologize there. Are we making progress? So now you see she has apologized. That conditional apology. So if say si Ghana forcing mankind, that means no kasano ni nyansa and Chinese say in as much as you may have challenges in Papa in his statement. And Papa in his statement now, yes, you know what should be the challenging factor of it. The way he is talking about galamsey and the rippling effect, say your family will bear the branch of it, children will bear the branch of it. As some bad party in our part, Nukaya, Maminu Osi, hey, Nikoko Apai. Look, there are some people who are called educated fools. They are educated, but they are extremely fools. So this woman can be classified as an educated fool. Because ni education now nyasa or your doctor. No. No, you see, I'm coming. It's a fact. I'm describing issue of a majority. This is the way we are.
How can I say?
Okay, if you are on your platform, I can withdraw. I withdraw, but that is
not appropriate word to describe.
Yeah, I withdraw, but that is our attitude. Say you want nyansa bebre, you go school bebre, but you fa efie nyansa, and ka school nyansa no. And I can fear nyansa ka krebi wo no matter the statement the person made, don't even go for it to dare the person. Because what him as here to dare the person. That's why we ask of a majority. You are sitting in this seat. You are being in this seat for long. You are ebia who need PhD, who need 2 PhD, ebia who need a medical doctor. But because of a jumana who yeno, who be kasa, who di a drink a krebi ekakasa no, we say same way me babekano. How would the people receive it? And yes, and a humanity ben. So that's why I'm saying, sir, if you occupy such a responsible position as a CEO of a state institution, there lines in collaboration or what they are watching all of us. So the statements you make will determine say collaboration will be free man. I say, Obefu say Ghana there, the Opebia there, Konakoka. Mami we ma same week. People are saying, say, Anna Julia Deborah, I like Julia Deborah as well. To be honest with you, those say Miminya NDC ni, but if you put the two materials together, these are two front runners. Ebia Serun Ketia, any Julia Deborah. If you put these two front runners together, I would definitely go for Julia Deborah. I'll definitely go for Julia Deborah because he's a presidential material. Now, the Hamika Krani say, yes, we are soon, so he's no longer fit enough to be a president. I would prefer a president that can cry than to have a president that can be ordering chiefs around. I prefer a president that can cry. So some are critical. Now, a person also, even if you require a bucket, move a bucket, no brand, no sungum. Because of course, I don't know, Sua, Nakuma Suba, and Nakuma Mene, Metonium. I prefer him. And to me, that me see, I'll go for the one who can be so emotional, so humble, so say. Than the aware me who video big when the former president was asking the then Minister of Interior or the first Henry Cote or Sumanu with the gesture. Konako catch the papa no say I'm sorry. Konako catch and say I'm sorry. I would prefer a humble president like Julia Debra, but you have humility there. Allah is the most humble and Allah is the most perfect. Allah is the most prepared person to take over from JDM. But Julia there, as soon as there. Yeah, show. Yeah, bucket crown.
Me that's a power. Nah, with then. Hey, Urban, yes, Urban, Dr. Mary was in issue now. I'm a mama can when you're there. Or yaza OSEI. And you are so beer or your bona or to me pay mu or can't not answer or slap on the fetchano. That person is far better than Obia or your bona. I don't know how to say it. Onye but where is it? Mama Mary. Incident in the sea, you know. No waba bad day. Waba apologize the Ghana for man can say into Mr. One fine champ. We're not sure the kind of leadership yen NDC. Yeah, walk. Nasa Ghana for say, so bia, I will mess and the eka are you but when you mess ma ekasano, ebia kazibo on poye, be feed ebia, ashen in panaro, but no yaro beshi, on obiana how will communicate. Intino on when you and a wabanos there, one final bunny day, one venture win and a Ghana for where they will pay for no. Na say, why a banner wa pay marker yet to chrome her day, and I brought your DC. And people, but tomorrow point out at Shrem Obia. Okay, say tia Obia, waba out about pechoda. It means you will
party in the society, a partial.
Now, me say, oh, yeah,
official statement from New Patriotic
Party. Now, me show there. Party no, wabebe pechowa. But in here, no, Panankasa, and no baba pacho. Because at the end, no, you are working for the party. It's our neck wasam. Because yet here, Kasama Banan, into say cousin, so ye, among us and Mababa Hana Mababa Kade, as some man can, no man can be into Mr. One fine chum. Answer party no Kasakasa as a whole, so Baba released a statement. The party now some like the party of Baba King. Honor in Ankasa, yen chief of staff, or Ben or Bede, or Babaka say. Or Babaka say, no, and the Obiana make the Obiana how wide they offer case. Into no when not sure there or your leader or what summa or your leader or one who brassy.
Okay.
Or your leader one who brassy on your leader or be instruct. No on your leader or because you pay him anyhow. Into no mayan a papa chief of staff here and I'm moved on Yazaban because Obia Otumu with the Nimpanaka said Tianya Minipano. One MP for power no was for basic cathedral was a manyankopan. I went to Messi, I can't was in an archichi. What to Miss Yankopan archichi. But in Yanupon or Yamini pa in okay, no, but at the end, wait to Mababa catch day. Oh, so for paying Mr. Mamacano, fetch him. Nanyankopan crap was now I whenever pay Macano's a betcha. It's all Yazana Ghana for expert today. Moya Bonanaka Sanumbra. Number Macade or Pecho as a part in Ankasa Soya day, Waba Pecho. Into New Panasawai, the only MP for one to be that. Oh, we're not MP for no one what's one mono. Won't bazo, won't be Yakupan, won't be ours as you do. Into so be a bonipona so cade, one fencer won't do your band because one what's one mono, or your damn Mantina when you're one party no more. But at the NDC part, and you want to say. Young leaders know what it is. It's one my young day. Eric had the Oka Sana, show same ye. Nasakuna Sagasa on your part of a release. One cassa, never go to the man on one cassa never Casa de Naka Sadia, one for one day, one fine chum. No one MPP for no one expect the BB way now wasting. But the MPP even so that one no see company, one ahumasu, arrogance. Workers some who there, one who drank a sankasa, Ghana for on your down subine or pay before more, what poor be a one who brassy, and you panon over who mobber, and you pan a cassa, or to walk madam with the wayne and now or your baby no see no wine yanaqua. na nyimpa na kasa waka de opachaw we ye yo de yenti bida IMP for the one day one sack one sack no one sack no brother ben you also one sack no but aka free zone CEO what if you know no way ya one show one mistakes na why no 138 na wonye no 38% no one share na work won anyim wonye one part ngo wonye reorganization eja part as ma we ko bi ne part as wo part as so enken we be kan yen part as enye yen part as no yen onye no na ye ka because see na yen flag bearer asem na ye ka
all right madam say need 100.9 for ehana ye de ayedwumade ye de in fact the woman no ye bring it here to me for calls bi we say more for calls na ye for calls na mamu be ma ye dey see me dey the Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN abon on 9 akasima de ba ko na on 9 na bo me sorry na ayola na abena ola okay ola Michael take over no dey or the debut and Monday abena as our mazano eh and na ola de yakofie bro me sorry Yankopon Yadoma, Ochina me no be shi organa montie so. Me dey say that ma me panel members Benjamin Asare, Abena Ampofua Ejeyi. Ade ensa me sesa no. Aha, Abena anto wusu no ka ho nti me nye mistake. Be say me dey owusu ka ho. All right, Abena Ampofua Owusu Ejeyi. Also by a member of the NDC communication team. And the UP Plus Deputy General Secretary, a friend Richard Zuma. On son eba ha. Alex and Chiono Abena Freeman in charge of the social media handles. Yes, sorry, I call. Mama Command. So, China, Yami Adama, best be ye. A minister, energy minister, in summer or the children. Yamiko be at home. I mean, shall Obibia. It didn't Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN. Metinem, Edman offer. At a cabri from Pong, Manson. Yeko.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here.